was
I'd hate it as a Michigan
because-
fan, but he would recruit well. That's Tom in Flat Rock. Well, we talked about the good and the bad of Brian Hartline. All Urban Meyer did is beat Michigan. He'd be perfect for MSU, and they'd accept him there, even with his baggage, because now the fans just want to win. It's not about the fans out there. It's about the administration. Would they be able to
think
do it?
Michigan State administration would go hire a guy that with the track record of Urban Meyer, not winning, yes, but off the field?
Well, he would. I'm Stonian over here.
Yeah.
He'd be the ultimate. Who cares? We're trying to win.
Yes, exactly. There's no doubt about it.
I think he'd
let's
take
just
it.
go have some more of this. He may.
Right.
But I just think it's a program
How
where
does it
whose
end?
coaches.
This hasn't ended well.
Hey, I have a question.
I think he sexually harasses people too. For that bar incident.
Yeah.
Or the game day set, the Fox set. Week one.
Yeah, would a coach who is going to be in the Big Ten in a couple of years leave for more money if he could get it? And I'm talking about the head football coach at the University of Washington, Kalen DeBoer. He'd be perfect.
He's going to be in the Big Ten.
I know. If they offered him a lot more money than Washington, would he leave? I don't know his complete background, where he's from, and all that stuff. Anyway.
How about Pat Fitzgerald?
Kerry Carpenter would join us next. 97 won the ticket.
Brought to you by Northville Lumber. No victory for the Tigers at home again, falling to the Reds 4-3, a one-run loss for the second straight night. However, Spencer Torkelson's quest for 30 home runs is still ongoing. Dan Dickerson with the call right here on 97.1. However, Cincinnati would score again, and Detroit would leave 13 runners on base. After the game, Torque simply said, "That's baseball," and they'll try to win today when they face the Reds in a matinee. Players back to work for the Lions after an off day. Eye still on starting tackle Taylor Decker, who would have not practiced yesterday had they taken the field. And the odds of seeing star players on the court hopefully increasing for next season in the NBA, voting to fine teams up to $1 million for violating resting policies. They don't want their biggest names, if healthy, sitting out primetime games and the in-season tournament, especially not multiple All-Stars at the same time, the commissioner admitting that load management got away from them. At the Ticket Update Desk, I'm Chris Villar. For more, go to 97.1 The Ticket and Odyssey.com.
Thank you very much, Chris. Tigers playing the Cincinnati Reds right here on 97.1 The Ticket this afternoon. Joining us now is a guy who's had a terrific season for the Tigers. He's got 20 dingers. Ladies and gentlemen, Kerry Carpenter. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on.
We appreciate it. Tough night last night. You took the offer. You guys left, 11 guys on base, 1 for 13 scoring position. Torque said that's baseball. You feel the same? It's just baseball?
Yeah, it is. It's just riding the ups and downs of the season. I didn't have my best night last night, but I'm not going to let that lose confidence in myself or in any of the other guys. So we're all confident no matter what happens the next day. We know how good we are. Torque is the best at that too. So it's fun to watch him too.
You already mentioned Torque. Obviously, Riley Green is there as well. There's a number of young players. How do you guys lean on each other when you do have a moment like this? Because we've watched Torque go through it. We've watched you at times go through it. I mean, it's something that's very common. How do you lean on each other to continue to make through some of these, but also enjoy some of the good moments?
Mm-hmm. It's awesome. We have such a great friendship. Not just us three, but most people in the locker room. And Torque is a great leader in that regard because, like you said, he kind of went through it at the beginning of the year, and he had so many hard-hit outs. I feel like he was the most unlucky player in baseball, and he never really got down on himself. And we encouraged him, but he honestly didn't really need encouragement because he was so confident and so trusting of the process. And so it was really cool to watch that.
Riley Green, John mentioned one of the, you guys are like the core three of the young guys who are hitting the hell out of the ball. Obviously, Riley Green probably be out for the rest of the season. How's his spirits?
He's doing well. He's kind of just bummed out because all these things keep happening to him, and he can't really control these things. And so that's what kind of bums him out. But other than that, like he comes to the field every day and works his butt off, like just to rehab, and it's really impressive to watch. And I'm excited like for his future because he's so good when he's on the field. So he's going to keep getting healthier, and he's going to produce for us for a long time.
As you've watched a guy like Spencer Torkelson go through what he's gone through over the last couple of years, and now he's sitting at 28 home runs, had another one last night. What's been the biggest difference that you've seen in him as a friend, as a teammate over the past 2 months?
Man, his confidence has never really wavered, but it seems to be just really fully back these last 2 months. Like what I was saying about him at the beginning of the year, just trusting it even when things weren't going his way. I think that just built confidence in him, and he just trusted that these hard hit balls were end up going to do damage at some point. And so we've seen the last couple months them do damage, and his plan, like he never wavers from his plan. He knows how good he is, and he just goes out there and does it every day.
Kerry Carpenter joins us on the Stoney and Jansen program. You were drafted in the 19th round out of Virginia Tech. Would it be a stretch to say, are you surprised you are where you are right now?
I don't know if I would use the word surprised, but because I always knew that I had more talent than the 19th round, but I just didn't play too well at Virginia Tech. I had always hit well, and then when I went to Virginia Tech, I went through a huge slump and didn't hit well. So I figured I wasn't going to get picked very high. So I knew that I just had to figure it out in the minor leagues. Whether I did that or not was the question. But maybe sometimes all the success in the big leagues surprises me because I never want to be expectant of baseball success because it can go away in an instant. Like I haven't had my best the last couple weeks after a great August. So it comes and goes. And so I never just expect to be perfect every single day, or when I got to pro ball, I just didn't expect to just figure it out all of a sudden, but just put the work in and continue to just try to reach my full potential. I
was listening to the game on the radio, I think it was last week, and Dan Dickerson was talking about you have a kind of an interesting relationship with Aaron Judge. I believe you have the same hitting coach. Talk to us about that and what Judge has meant to you, and also your individual hitting coach.
Yeah, so one of my buddies, Jacob Robson, actually referred me to him, and so I went and hit with him. He basically just told me my swing wasn't as great as it could be and told me about this guy. And so it took me a while to believe him and go hit with him. But once I did, I figured out this launch quickness, the ability to adjust to every pitch. And it took a while to click, a couple months in the minors last year in 2022. And once it clicked, and I think that what this guy teaches is correct. And he changed my career, he changed Judge's career, and so it's cool having that relationship and also being an example for Richard, my hitting coach, because he's such a great person, he's such a great coach. So I'm glad that he can use me as an example now.
I know as an athlete, you're always trying to fight some of the urges or the voices in your head when things aren't going right or not as quickly as you'd like them. You just mentioned that new hitting coach, but at what point, or was there a point in your path in college through the minor leagues where you started to have that moment of self-doubt of, I don't know if this baseball thing's going to work out? How did you fight through it? How did you handle that moment?
Man, there were definitely times where I like to plan for the future, and baseball is such a sport and such a career path that you can't plan for the future. You don't know how it's going to go. You don't know if you're going to move up, move down, get released, go to the big leagues. You don't really know. So there were always times where I was like, man, I don't know how long I'm going to have this, like where this is going to end up. I don't know if it was self-doubt, but there were definitely thoughts in my head about it. And then it's just the fact that I just trust that wherever I am, like, is exactly where God wants me to be. And so I just want to be present in this moment. And that's kind of what gets me in the right heart position, right mindset every single day.
Where do you think God wants you to be next year? A designated hitter or in the outfield?
My choice would be the outfield.
Okay.
Him willing.
Well, there will be a DH opening probably because obviously talking about Miggy. What's that been like? And are you excited for the last you guys go on the road for a while, but the last homestand coming up in a few weeks to watch Miggy go out?
That's really exciting. And I hope Detroit packs out the stadium for him, and I know they will. And so it's just been great to watch all year, and then it's going to come to a good close. Hopefully we can get a bunch of wins. I know that's what he wants when we have our last homestand. So it's been awesome to watch, and I can't wait to see that weekend.
What have you learned, I don't know, maybe about yourself or about the game of baseball since playing for A.J. Hinch?
Man, he's great. He like all his knowledge and all his experience from being on winning teams, I think that's what he's so good at, and he's not like, we never settle for anything other than winning every game. And so I think that's a great thing that he's teaching us, like in our culture, in our clubhouse, in our locker room, to that, like, that's our goal here. And he does a great job of that.
Going into next season, not to put this season to bed yet, but what do you have to work on the most to even be better next year?
I think just being consistent at the plate, especially. But also my outfield has gotten better thanks to our coaching staff and George Lombard. And but just my consistency at the plate, like sometimes I'll lose the swing or lose an approach for a day or two, and if I can just limit those at bats where I feel like I left them on the table and just really take every at bat and trust what I'm doing, I think that can be a stepping stone for the future for me.
In regard, obviously, no team is the same from year to year, but with the way that Austin Meadows has come up and come on,
Parker
Meadows. You're looking at Spencer Torkelson, Riley Green, yourself. I mean, there's a good young core. How excited are you to develop and your prospects of, hey, this could be a team in the coming years that could actually win some ball games and be competitive?
It's super exciting. Parker's been incredible, and I think he's learning at the plate right now. But man, that guy's going to be a Gold Glove center fielder, I think, if he stays healthy. And so just having him patrolling probably the biggest center field in baseball every day is huge for our staff, huge for our team in general. And so it's awesome to be able to build around a couple guys, and thank God that I'm part of that right now. And it's cool because I think we're heading in the right direction, and you can see hope.
All right, we mentioned you played your college baseball at Virginia Tech. What the hell's happened to the Hokie football team? I mean, it used to be, a team that was really, really good. Enter Sandman, the whole deal at night there is really cool. What's going on?
I don't know. I'm more of a Florida Gator football fan, so I haven't even paid attention to Virginia Tech this year. But, man, I don't know if they can recruit there for some reason. So it doesn't seem like they can.
So if Florida plays Virginia Tech, you would root for
against your alma mater?
Oh yeah. I'm a diehard Florida fan. It's in my blood.
Wow. No, that's a discussion. We've talked about that because our guy Doug Karsh, who does the show after this and is the voice of Michigan football, He went to Michigan State, and he was always a Michigan fan. And as a student at Michigan State, he still rooted for Michigan.
Man, I don't know if I could do that. That's a little tough. That's a bitter rivalry, but it's similar.
So all right, so let's switch gears then. Florida, when are they going to be back?
Yeah.
Oh,
man, they got a tough one in the Swamp this weekend, but just them being in the Swamp gives them a chance. So hopefully this weekend is the turning point.
All right, Kerry, appreciate it. Good luck this afternoon against the Reds, and have a good road trip. You guys do Dodgers, Angels, and A's before you're coming back to end Miggy's career here at Comerica Park. We really appreciate it.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Yep. That's Kerry Carpenter, the Tigers, right here on 97.1 The Ticket.
Hey, when I've got a question about my finances, I turn to my bank, and that's First Merchants Bank. I know that they're attentive. Local bankers are 100% interested in listening to my situation and in helping me find the answers that I need. First Merchants doesn't provide cookie-cutter solutions or check-off boxes when it comes to financial advice. They take the time to learn about my life, my personal and financial goals, and they work with me to build a plan that fits my situation. That's because First Merchants Bank cares about you as an individual, not just as a number on a spreadsheet, and they're going to do all they can to help their customers and communities succeed. You can count on that, since First Merchants Bank is staffed by local bankers who know and are passionate about the needs of the local community. It's their community as well. It's where they live. It's where they work. And they know that they've got to work together to help us and all of our communities continue to prosper. To get started on your personalized financial solution today, you can visit them at firstmerchants.com. That's firstmerchants.com, member FDIC.
I'm a big Harlan Barnett guy. I'm full disclosure here. I worked with Harlan 25 years ago. We were on the Spartan broadcast together. His NFL career had just finished up, and he knew Nick Saban pretty well and had an opportunity to be part of the broadcast team as our sideline reporter for a couple seasons. And then when Saban went on to LSU, I believe Harlan went there as a grad assistant and started his coaching career, and eventually came back to Michigan State, went to Florida State as a defensive coordinator, and came back to Michigan State when Mel Tucker came here and wanted to bring him back. I love this opportunity for him. I don't know if he's suited to be a head coach or not, but he's going to get the opportunity. The players love him. Players love him. Families love him. He's a family guy. And his faith is very important to him, and he lets that be known as well. And I think it's a very safe hire from within at this point. I mean, you got to appoint somebody as the interim head coach. Harlan Barnett makes a ton of sense. I mean, I don't know if you're going to want it turned over to one of the coordinators. I have no issue at all with it being Harlan. In fact, I'm very happy for him.
Two 248-539-9797. Coming up at 9:35, we're going to attempt to try to teach John about trademark Wojo's up-down theory.
Yes, one thing I struggle to understand and frustrates me and kind of angers me.
I know. You shouldn't be angry about it. It's football. It's gambling.
I'm not angry. I'm not angry about football. I don't understand the theory that either developed the up-down theory or has sustained it. We'll discuss that.
Yes, absolutely. What should have, people in the world of sports upset. I know we'll get to what was scheduled here. I just want to mention this quickly. Did you see the Alex Rodriguez story?
I did, yes. That he ratted out some other baseball players.
Yes, Ryan Braun, and I believe Manny Ramirez, I believe was the other.
My question is, and we're using the term rat.
He's yeah.
But was he asked these questions in a deposition under fear of, being, lying to investigators?
I'll just read the story.
Because that changes the game.
A-Rod revealed to federal agents that he'd been told by Biogenesis founder Anthony Bosch that Manny Ramirez, Ryan Braun, and one other all-star player were also PED clients. The third all-star never tested positive, so his name was not revealed in ESPN's story. Rodriguez gave the agents those names when he met with 2 assistant U.S. Department of Justice attorneys and 7 drug enforcement admission agents in 2014. The meeting came several weeks after he received his 211-game suspension. Rodriguez admitted that he used PEDs he purchased from Bosch. Per this report, he said he paid $12,000 a month to Bosch for doping protocols fueled by testosterone creams. He also told the agent that his cousin had supplied him with PEDs for at least a decade. Let's see. His cousin, who did not comment for the story, eventually threatened to blackmail A-Rod if he did not receive $5 million per the report. Rodriguez, whose checks from his business account were paid to cash to Bosch, he told agents he fired his cousin after he frivolously spent the money. So basically, he ratted out these guys.
But my question is, if federal investigators come ask you questions, and sure, you could say, I don't know, and then it's up to them to prove that you do know. But if they prove that you do know, are you in even more trouble at that point? I mean, we're using the term rat, but he was asked by federal investigators. I'm not in a habit of withholding information, especially when what'd you say, there's a total of 7 of them? He'd
be granted the, quote, they call it queen for a day, and you can take that for what it's worth. I don't know if it was, that's what it's normally called or just because of A-Rod. He's been granted queen for a day status by prosecutors per the report, which allowed him to share details without fear of legal prosecution. So basically, he made a deal.
Right.
I won't be, charged legally if I rat out people. And he agreed to that deal. So if I'm ESPN, by the way, I get him off. I get him off Sunday Night Baseball.
But my question goes back to if he is under investigation by federal authorities, are you going to not be honest with them? Trust me, we've seen baseball players do it before. They haven't spent any time in jail.
I would say I'm not saying a word without being just not give an answer, maybe. Now, it's easy for me to say from afar if they sat there and said, put me in a room and say, you're not going to, you'll go to jail for 10 years and all this kind of whatever that would be.
I would assume he had legal counsel there.
I would assume.
But, I mean, I understand the term of, hey, I'm going to name names as he is a rat. But on the flip side, if you are at all not straight with us, we're going to make the rest of your life a living hell and possibly charge you with other crimes because you weren't truthful to us.
The problem is in different walks of life, if you rat out your coworkers, you could be sleeping with the fishes with a horse head in your bed.
Right. Yes, but this I don't believe baseball is the mob.
I have a question. Did A-Rod buy him a hamburger? Because Stoney, this is what you say about Jim Harbaugh. Oh, should have cooperated.
Truthful. Yeah, and there's no law enforcement agency with the NCAA.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But you want to call him a rat?
Well, no, that's what he's called. That's what the headline says. He ratted out his cheating son.
Yes, but that's the perception that you are continuing.
Okay.
So are you calling him a rat?
He's a rat, but I would have been a rat too.
Okay.
Yeah. I would have in this situation.
So I thought you just said you wouldn't have said anything.
Yeah.
I would have.
I do agree. I do agree. You would have sang like a canary stone.
Yes, I probably would have. I said it's easy for me to sit there. I said it's easy for me to sit there and say no. But yeah, you put a push comes to shove. I probably would have been a rat too.
I know you don't like A-Rod. Not many of us do.
I know.
But I mean, to use this news story to continue to fishy him disparaging names, I think is somewhat a little fishy.
I can still call him a rat.
You want to talk about sleeping with the fishes?
He's still a rat. Now, would I have been a rat too? Yeah, probably. So, yeah.
Okay. As long as we're clear.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Because if he doesn't, he's probably facing, lying to investigators.
By the way,
charges.
Did you see that rat on the sideline on Saturday?
I didn't. I don't spend my days on the sidelines anymore.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't know. Somebody might have told you. I mean, there were pictures of him all over.
Okay.
Because his daughter goes to Michigan, University of Michigan.
There's a lot of famous people who kids go to Michigan, and
I know.
I have not run into any of them.
Okay, sorry. I just thought maybe somebody would say, "Hey, there's A-Rod."
Oh, great. There's A-Rod.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Sorry. I know. There's nobody that is out there in the world that you would say, "Wow, that's so and so."
Well, I mean, Miggy did show up for a game. I think it was last year. I said, "Wow, there's Miguel Cabrera's here. Can we get him up here?"
Yeah.
We weren't able to, but so it was. Yeah. Wow.
Okay. So if you knew,
I did not know that A-Rod was in attendance.
That's all the question was.
Yes, no. Sorry. No.
That's fine. Okay.
No.
Right. Would you have, if you knew, would you have said, let's get him up here, talk to him?
No.
Okay. Why?
Because he's a rat.
Thank you. Exactly.
No.
He'd be a rat just like I would.
Yeah, ask him all the tough questions. No, because and not that the game was so compelling.
Right.
But he's not going to add anything to our broadcast. Miguel Cabrera is a current player. A-Rod is no longer a player.
That's true, but he might add something to the broadcast when it's 30-0.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. So maybe if he's there Saturday night and Michigan's up 56-7, maybe they'll cover this week. And call up the rat patrol.
Yeah, I mean, the Sklar brothers were there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and so they stopped by the booth.
I think they are vastly overrated.
Okay.
They're
very nice guys.
I'm sure they are.
Okay.
Doesn't mean they're good at their job.
Right. Well, and I didn't put them on. I didn't put them on the air. They stopped by the booth. I said hi. Hey, thanks for coming by. Yeah. Go Blue. One of their daughters is a freshman at Michigan now. So
some of their stuff actually is funny. When they did the spoof on Science Theater, whatever that thing was called.
Cheap Seats. Mystery Science Theater 3000 at the show you're thinking of. They did a version of that, which is basically watching like old television sporting
which was very funny.
I liked them in Wild Hogs. They were in that movie.
I never saw Wild Hogs.
No?
No.
Oh.
Tim Allen? Taking the hog out?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, it is. Yes. Yes. It's about a bunch of middle-aged guys that go on a cross-country trip on their hogs.
Boomer comedy.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be. Yeah, I guess that's a perfect description. Yeah.
What is it?
Boomer comedy. Yeah.
Okay.
That'd be perfect for you. Oh, wait, no, that's before you're.
No, that's younger than you, right?
Is that kind of like the whole concept with 80 for Brady? It's
yes.
Okay.
Yes,
boomer
it's
comedy.
about it's older people trying to be young and like reliving glory days.
Yeah, it's a bunch of like I described, middle-aged dudes going on a motorbike trip across the country.
Kind of like City Slickers was back in the day.
Yeah, but he was just looking for that one thing.
This is like Stoney going to Vegas with his boys in the spring and then coming back home on the plane with somebody else's shoes.
Yeah, exactly. The Las Vegas. Was that the trip? That was a movie called Las Vegas. All right, coming up next.
Las Vegas.
There was a movie called Las Vegas.
Last Vegas?
Last Vegas.
When was that movie made?
Was it in
color?
Within 5 years. Within 5 years.
Within 10 years, yeah. I'd say a decade. Let's be generous here. It's got, I think, De Niro, Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
Same concept.
Yes, exactly.
Never heard of it.
Released in 2013.
Okay, so it's a decade old.
Michael Douglas, Robert De Niro, Morgan Freeman, Kevin Kline, Mary Steenburgen, and Jerry Ferrara.
Talking to Mike.
Yeah. All right. I was looking over. All right, let's just get this out of the way. You have to figure out. You have to learn about this coming up next.
Yes, please.
97 won the ticket. On that punt return, there was a blatant leg trip right in front of the referee, right in front of the
ball carrier,
in front of Gibson.
Yeah,
and they blew it. They missed it. That should now look. It would have only been. Chances are they would have ended up either scoring or kicking a field goal anyway because it took place about the 20-yard line approximately. If I'm not,
somewhere in there. So maybe they got to get one first down, or maybe they don't even need a first down. Who knows? Mm-hmm. But yeah, they would have been forced to go through the process.
Yeah.
It was amazing to me that it was missed because of the proximity to where the ball was.
Yes. And also on that play, former Lion punter Sam Martin, very, very lame effort to try to make the tackle. I mean, your buddy Hank Winchester has to be very disappointed in you, Sam. That was really, really lame.
Yeah, it was. You could hear him go, Two-hand touch does not count as being down. So the thing that you got to know, and every punter, every kicker is taught, use the sideline as an extra defender. Mm-hmm. He overplayed it and got beat by a better athlete going back inside, and that's when you hear the
John Jansen with his Sam Martin imitation.
Yes.
Last night, Aaron Rodgers, it was New York, a lot of celebrities there.
Yep.
I'm watching this clip of Aaron Rodgers before the game, and he's dapping it up with Justin Timberlake.
Okay.
Obviously, Rodgers, full uniform. He's got the helmet on and everything. Like, this is like, I don't know, half an hour before game. I don't know when.
Minutes before.
Yeah, who knows, right? Timberlake's on the field in, like, sunglasses, a hat, dress casual. They dap it up together. Hey, man, good luck tonight, da-da-da, whatever. Thanks for coming. Rodgers turns around to go to the tunnel, and Timberlake pats him on the butt. Now, my question is, since he's in full uniform, is that just a thing? Could Rodgers turn around and tap Timberlake on the butt even though he's in casual clothes?
No, you have to be playing a sport in uniform.
Okay.
Yep.
But if you're in uniform, it's like, hey, that's just part of the good luck out there?
Yeah, I think that's when it's appropriate.
That about sums it up if you're a Jet fan. Good God. We're going to make this localized because I'm not coming on the air and going to ask you to feel bad for Jet fans. Nobody feels bad for Jet fans. Jet fans are the scourge of the earth. But I thought about the Jets and the Lions are kind of tied at the hip this year. They are. They're attached at the hip. The two most hyped teams in all of football. The Jets for the acquisition of Aaron Rodgers. Could he finally lift the curse? Could he finally deliver him to the promised land? And then the Leos. Number one team bet to make the Super Bowl. Number one team to have Coach of the Year. The hype team, the it team. Hard knock siblings, Jets and Lions. And I thought about our opening night. Marching to Arrowhead, winning a thriller, gritty, gutty, ecstasy, the whole bit. And then you watch last night. There were more tickets for that game last night than when the Super Bowl was at MetLife Stadium.
Seriously?
Seriously. Jet fans were ready to roll. This was their time, their year, their opener against a divisional rival and Super Bowl team in the Bills. And their year lasted 4 plays. 4. Aaron Rodgers, dead. Achilles, dead. Zach Wilson, confused look on face, dead. No matter win or lose last night, their season is over.
There's a lot out there. There's a lot that this team needs to answer to. Like I said, we know that they have the personnel to win, but are they ready to be winners? I think winners go out and win this game. And, Seattle, in spite of what happened in week 1, I don't think that's a true representation of who they are, though it may be. We'll find out over the course of time. I tend to believe in the Wojo up-down theory, which I don't. It doesn't make sense to me that that's a thing, but it's a thing. It is a thing.
I think it's a thing for non-Super Bowl contending teams. That's what I think.
So the bulk of the teams in the middle, it's a thing for, but
yes.
the elites and the terrible ones, it's not a thing for.
Correct.
It might be.
I think if you're a bad team, you're a bad team. And if you're a great team, you're a great team.
Yeah.
And if you're contending, anything can happen because it's the NFL and parity is there in the NFL.
Yep.
Yeah, I woke up to 56 text messages, and I'm going, all right, who's dead? And then you realize it's our head coach. So let's just get into it, and I can throw the number out. You know the number, 248-539-9797. Public service announcement. Mel Tucker might be the dumbest human being to ever walk the face of the earth. He's a character out of Idiocracy. When you read the story out of USA Today, to say there was a lack of judgment would say there was a degree of judgment at all. The pure idiocy of Mel Tucker.
Yeah, and 20 billion women in the world.
Yeah. It just, again, and I don't want to go over every granular detail. You heard it in the mornings, you heard it in the middays. The bottom line is this. We are so far past even having to battle anyone defending him. There is no defense. His defense of consensual doesn't even play because he violated the morality clause in his contract.
Right.
It is so reassuring. Once I found out that MSU had done everything right by the letter of the law, I then was able to move towards where I'm at today, which I got to be honest, I don't know if people will understand this. I don't know if they will care. Rico, I don't know if you will. I just feel relieved because I am a big believer when people show you who they really are, instead of getting angry, say thank you.
Innovation refunds, and by the way, we'll take some calls coming up on this coming up next. Innovation refunds has been helping small business qualify to get a business payroll tax refund through the Employee Retention Credit. It's known as the ERC. It's a tax refund for businesses that kept employees on payroll for parts of 2020 and 2021. If you own a business with more than 5 employees, you could have money waiting to be claimed. ERC tax filing is complex. Innovation refunds is dedicated to helping business owners navigate the process. They understand the importance of your information, have an industry standard certifications to back it up. Qualifying for the ERC goes beyond sales decline. If your business faced challenges to the growth that it would have had without pandemic government orders, it may be eligible for a substantial refund as well. Innovation Refunds has hundreds of 5-star reviews on Trustpilot and Google.
I'm a big Harlan Barnett guy.
Credited with the Better Business Bureau. So go to innovationrefunds.com, determine
I worked with
eligibility
Harlan 25
to
years ago. We were on the Spartan
innovationrefunds.com or call
career had just finished
1-843-REFUNDS. That's innovationrefunds.com or 1-843-REFUNDS.
Well.
Innovation Refunds do not provide tax or legal advice. They work with an independent network of tax pros and will share information with them to evaluate and process your claims. Terms and conditions apply. On that punt return, there was a blatant leg trip right in front of the referee, right in front of the
ball carrier.
in front of Gibson.
Yeah.
And they blew it. They missed it. That should now look. They would have only been. Chances are they would have ended up either scoring or kicking a field goal anyway because it took place about the 20-yard line approximately. If I'm not,
somewhere in there. So
Yes.
I mean, maybe they got to get one first down,
Yes.
or maybe they don't even need a first down. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they would have been forced to go through the process.
Yeah.
It was amazing to me that it was missed because of the proximity to where the ball was.
Yes. And also on that play, former Lion punter Sam Martin. Very, very lame effort to try to make the tackle. I mean, your buddy Hank Winchester has to be very disappointed in you, Sam. That was really, really lame.
Yeah, it was. You could hear him go, eh. Two-hand touch does not count as being down. So the thing that you got to know, and every punter, every kicker is taught, use the sideline as an extra defender. Mm-hmm. He overplayed it and got beat by a better athlete going back inside, and that's when you hear the
John Jansen with his Sam Martin imitation.
Yes.
All right, 248-539-9797, trying to figure out the up-down theory. I just think it's something that, like I said, I mean, I've not gone through every game of NFL history, but it's one of those things where you think it's always true. Well, obviously not always, but you think the majority of the time, the up-down, the team that loses one week, if they're playing a team that wins the previous week, the team that loses, if not wins, will cover.
And then the thing that I'm really struggling to wrap my mind around is there are games, and a majority of the games, where it doesn't play a factor at all. You have two teams that played good the week before. What happens when they play this week? Two teams that play bad, or you play bad and you win.
The games, it's not an up-down game. If two teams win, for instance, if Seattle would have won last week, the Lions-Seattle game would not be an up-down game. That's all. It's just there's not every game fits.
But how about if the Lions, okay, they win, but they don't play well?
Well, that's what happened this week.
Right. So how does that fit into the up-down?
It's basically a black and white deal for me. I mean,
it doesn't seem like it.
No, it does for me. It's either a team wins and loses, and if they play each other, it's an up-down game. If not, it's not. He can sit and parse every game. I'm not doing that. Let's go to Ian in Sterling Heights.
Hey, good morning, fellas. Stoney, congratulations on your retirement from all your friends at Channel 4.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, so the up-down theory, John, it's about the public perception of the previous week of a bad team and a good team facing each other. So a team that lost last week and everybody down on them versus a team that was good, it widens that spread number and makes it more
attractive,
more likely that they will cover, or more attractive, right? So you're betting they make the big spread because we saw that Cincinnati got blown out last week. So that number is probably bigger this week going against the Ravens than it would be had Cincinnati covered.
Yeah.
And then the Ravens, let's say they blew out, even though they didn't have a big win. Let's say they did have a big win last week. And then so everybody's real high on them. So that number gets bigger and then makes it more likely that they'll cover.
It is a lot of it is gambling because it was Joe came up with it when we used to do our picks back in the day, But I also wonder if it's also true with no spreads as well. But we'll keep track of both covering and just out. I will.
Sure.
I will do that.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, I know you do. You appreciate all my hard work. Let's talk to Lee in South Lyon. You're a 97 on the ticket.
Hey guys, I am a absolute degenerate. I've been gambling forever. I'm such a degenerate that I paid for my wife's wedding ring with WNBA bets, which I can go on forever.
Wow.
Yeah, no,
so obviously you're good at it.
Well, yeah, like WNBA is the best because it's the only sport that nobody bets on. So if the best player in the league is out, the line doesn't move. So all you got to do is be a casual observer, and you bet the favorite, you win every time. But the biggest thing about the up-down theory I've learned is that it's like it works. It's a real thing. I've made a ton of money off it because what you do is you monitor a team like Tampa Bay, who's not supposed to be very good. First week they play very good. You just know next week against the spread they won't. And it's spread for sure is the way to go. But against big winners, anytime a team is bad and they're playing a team that's good, they always do up-down because they come up to play Monday night game. They come up to play a big team. They do their best, and next week it's a down game across the board. Now,
I get it. Now, the problem is, for my argument that it actually exists, is nobody's yet had the actual documentation of it. That's my biggest problem.
So the fact of the matter is that if you're going to take Tampa Bay, like the caller just said, okay, they played well last week. They got a win, and we found out that Baker Mayfield knew the calls, but they're playing the Bears,
right?
And so it's the Bears are a home dog.
So you would take the Bears if you're
unless you think the Bears are really just bad.
If you're subscribing to just the up-down theory, you're not even looking. You just look at the spreads. You look what happened the week before, and if you do that, Brandon in Ann Arbor, you're a 97 on the ticket.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
My example for an up-down game, also known as the hangover game, would be Michigan versus TCU last year in the playoffs. TCU came off of a overtime loss to Kansas State, and Michigan, ran through their entire season and won the Big Ten championship and goes in and stinks it up.
Bob, on paper you are correct, but the fact that there was like a month in between the games, kind of, I don't know. I don't know how the momentum shift would play into that theory. All right, one more. Ken in St. Clair Shores, you're a 97 on the ticket.
Yeah, good morning, gentlemen. I feel that the reason that John is having a problem accepting this theory is because he's looking at it from a different approach. He's a professional football player, and he has a different perspective on things than the normal average fan does. And, his attitude is you got to win team, not only individual, but a team approach. You've got to win every game. And there are no theories about whether you're going to win or lose.
That's valid.
And so I just believe that because of his background, I don't think he's ever going to accept this theory.
No,
you're probably right. Thank you, Ken.
Exactly. It's true. Doug, where are you on the up-down theory?
I think it applies to teams in the middle. I think if you're really good or really bad, it doesn't exist.
Right.
Which is most of the league is in the middle. And so I do think that there is truth to it. I thought it was just Wojo folly the first time I heard it.
Right.
Yeah. And much of what Wojo says.
It's folly.
Wojo folly.
Yes.
Entertaining as hell.
Yeah.
But now I think it applies to the teams in the middle, that you can be two different teams week to week, but those that are at the top and those that are at the bottom, kind of consistent.
Do the Lions fall into the middle?
No.
Lions
top end.
Yes.
Lions have basically resided in their three categories.
Yeah.
The top, the middle, and the bottom. The Lions have been a permanent resident in the middle and the bottom my entire life. And now
they're in the top.
I hope. I mean, honestly, I hope, but we'll find out. My comment on the Seattle game is this is a game they should win.
Yes.
And it shows if they're ready to be winners, because winners win this game. And it's not like the definitive, if they don't win this game, they're not going to be good, but over the course of the season, you win most of these types of games when you're good. So let's go.
All right, let's go for the $2 Grand Slam, by the way.
Oh, boy.
Yes.
So much joy on your face.
I know. This is painful.
Doug, there is not one. Oh, excuse me. There is one movie question, but I think you actually might know.
Can I answer it now?
No, it's not Denzel Washington.
Okay.
I'll give you that hint.
All right. Hold on. Let me think of an actor or actress.
I mean, you'll know this one. I'm confident.
Okay.
All right.
Yep.
Here we go. Who will be Michigan State's acting head coach Saturday against Washington?
Harlan Barnett.
Who does Michigan play in football Saturday night?
Bowling Green.
Pete Weber and Earl Anthony were best known for playing this sport.
Bowling.
He played Hannibal Lecter in Silence of the Lambs.
Anthony Hopkins.
What is the capital of New York?
Albany.
Who is the head coach of the Cleveland Browns?
I won't say it.
Didn't I already have this question?
I don't know.
Yeah, I said Mike Pettin, and it's not.
Right.
Yeah. Pass.
Okay.
Oh, didn't learn.
What is the name of the division that the Red Wings play in?
The Atlantic.
Where did Lions safety Brian Branch play in college?
Alabama.
This rock band had the 1991 hit Black.
Pass.
What jersey number does Cade Cunningham wear?
What is he?
We're out of time on that one. You got 7. You got 7.
Yeah.
And you got the acting question. Anthony
That
Hopkins.
was
I thought you'd get
I
that.
can picture him, little squirrely dude.
Yes, Kevin Stefanski. You will never forget this the rest of your
Denzel
life.
Washington.
Yes. The problem is that, and because it is true, you acted like you hadn't been there before.
What do you mean? With that question?
Well, yeah, you
I
got
have
it
been there
right,
before, I
and
know.
then you wasted so
Anthony
much
Hopkins?
time.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I kind of was done there.
Yes, you're just very
I
happy
was
with
satisfied.
yourself.
It was a victory for Doug. I got a movie question, and the answer wasn't Denzel Washington.
Pearl Jam had the 1991
Yes, of
hit Black, and Cade Cunningham wears number 2.
F me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What do you guys got going today?
We got Thursday, so we got Thursday game to preview with Loser Chooser. We got Are You Gonna Eat That? We got the Wide 9 Omaha Round the League Blitz thingy, so it's gonna be busy. Lions talk to weave in and other stuff.
All right. Carson Anderson next. 97 won the ticket.
Last night, Aaron Rodgers, it was New York, a lot of celebrities there.
Yep.
I'm watching this clip of Aaron Rodgers before the game, and he's dapping it up with Justin Timberlake.
Okay.
Obviously, Rodgers, full uniform. He's got the helmet on and everything. Like, this is like, I don't know, half an hour before game. I don't know when.
Minutes before.
Yeah, who knows, right? Timberlake's on the field in, like, sunglasses, a hat, dress casual. They dap it up together. Hey, man, good luck tonight, da-da-da, whatever. Thanks for coming. Rodgers turns around to go to the tunnel, and Timberlake pats him on the butt.
All right. Special show today, as we're doing it from two different places. Hi, Gator.
Hey, Doug.
Gator's down at Comerica Park. I'm in the command center. So Tigers take it on Reds. Last game of this series. You all right, buddy?
Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah. How are you doing?
I'm okay. Just powering away
hey,
here at the station.
Just so people know.
Yeah.
There's some construction on the lodge.
Yep.
And it doesn't last long, but boy, does it get stopped.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere it'll start slowing down, probably about Telegraph in the lodge, and then it goes all the way down to basically Greenfield, and then it opens up back up to a lane or a couple lanes once the traffic's done there, and then you're free and clear after a little bit. So prepare to add some time to your commute.
Yes.
Because of some traffic.
If you're headed down there to Comerica Park for this afternoon's game with the Cincinnati Reds, and of course a lot of people will be heading down this weekend for the Lions home opener at Ford Field. I got to tell you, Gator, I think this game is so big, it's almost as big as Taylor Swift coming to Ford Field.
You think so,
I think it's almost that big.
I think the Swifties might disagree. I think it's big.
I didn't say
I don't know.
I said almost
I know.
as big.
I know what you said. But I haven't seen anybody, flooding the streets here buying, T-shirts or ski masks or whatever the hell else they want to buy.
Wait till Sunday. You don't think there's going to be people hawking ski masks outside Ford
Sunday,
Field?
sure.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying. I know what you're saying, and yes, I do. I don't want to. I shouldn't downplay this. I do think that this is going to be a tremendous atmosphere on Sunday.
So I was looking back at that Bears game, the Monday Night Football game in 2011. The Lions were 4-0. The Bears were 2-2 at the time. The Lions won 24-13. The Bears committed 9 false starts. 9. And we were in the building. Kang, you were there. It was loud. It was raucous. And that has set the bar for what Ford Field can be. That has set the bar for the template of Ford Field at its finest in terms of home field advantage. That was an attendance record that night. Javid Best had an 88-yard touchdown run. And, Gator, I think there's a good chance. It's not Monday night, right, this Sunday afternoon, but I think there's a really good chance that this is going to be better than that.
I think it's going to be better than that. I'm going to call it right now. I think that they're going to blow the top off of Ford Field on Sunday. I just feel like this is one of those games that people have been waiting for and waiting for and waiting for. The anticipation of this season has been building up to such a crescendo. You had what happened last week where they start off 1-0 by knocking off the Chiefs at Arrowhead. Everybody's loving it right now. Season tickets are sold out for the year. This is the toughest ticket to get in town. It may be the toughest ticket to get at Ford Field for a Lions game ever. And, yeah, I think people are going to act accordingly. It's going to be nuts. And I would say, as I joked about getting down here early for a Tigers game because of the traffic, seriously, on Sunday, you may want to leave the house by 10 o'clock in the morning to get downtown because it's going to be a zoo and it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, well, the one thing about it is this has a ton of potential from getting off to a quick start to the season, which would be awesome. It is the hungriest fan base in the NFL. I think it's easy to argue. I think you're looking at a building that really reverberates sound, and I think the whole world is about to find out something I've always believed, and that is that Ford Field can be the best home field advantage in the NFL. We just needed the right confluence of circumstances, and bam, we appear to have them this year. Now, hopefully the football team doesn't let us down. It's not a must-win. I think there's some stuff to prove to go out and win this game. I do want to get your take on the ski mask thing. What do you think of C.J. Gardner-Johnson, who was wearing a ski mask? I don't know if he was on IG Live or it just made its way out there on the socials of him walking around the locker room with the blue ski mask after the victory over the Kansas City Chiefs. He's encouraged fans to do it. They've sold out on various Amazon outlets because apparently Lions fans are going to show up in these blue ski masks. What do you make of it?
First of all, I think the idea is kind of playful and sort of harmless, but I don't like it. I don't like it because it's like, I know what his intention is, and I don't question his intention. It's just the look of having a stadium full of people that are wearing ski masks like they're ready to rob someplace. I don't like. I get that he wants to play off the villain thing that Brad Holmes has done, and that's kind of cool. but villains are not thieves. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I just it just rubs me the wrong way. I wish it was another thing they could do, and I don't want to make a big deal out of it because I know that's not the intention of this whole thing at all.
I was at first I was like, ooh, is this a good look? And then I said, you know what? F that. Because the Raiders get praised for the black hole, and people dress up as like pirates and renegades and demons and ghouls, and pirates raped and pillaged, man. So I'm like, if that can be praised, why can't this be praised? So I initially had the same thought, and then I said, no, wait a second. Wait 1 second. Everybody talks about the Raiders fans. Now, the problem with the Raiders fans is sometimes they get carried away in terms of the way they treat opposing fans, feeding into a stereotype there. But if they can have that, damn it, let's not take it too seriously. C.J. Gardner-Johnson and Lions fans aren't going to go out. There's not going to be a rash of holdups after the game on Sunday, right? I mean, it's a playful thing. So playing off what you said, I think you're right. It's a playful thing, and I'm not in a place to make a big deal about it. And I can't, we may have something here. Maybe not. Maybe it doesn't take off. But if we do have something here, it's no different than the black hole that the Raiders seem to be. That's looked at with it seems like an aura of romance. But hey, I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it.
I like the idea of the turnover mask, where just people put it on when the Lions get a turnover. I think it'd be cool optics to look at the crowd. Everyone's got the mask on after an interception or a fumble.
We stole your ball.
Yeah, exactly. Then take it off and back to normal after that.
I will say I don't find ski masks to be remotely comfortable. I would.
Oh, you're a big time skier.
I am a big time skier, but I think that the ski mask, pull it all the way over your head, and I've got like a head sock, which is different, but when you start covering up the entire face that way, I don't find it to be comfortable. Now, when I go,
it's not comfortable.
Yeah, when I go skiing, just the two eyes and the mouth hole.
Oh boy,
I don't find it comfortable. But now, if you see me when I'm skiing, I look pretty bundled up. But it's not a ski mask, and I've never found him to be comfortable. So I won't be participating.
Plus, it's you're inside Ford Field. It's gonna be 70 degrees.
Right? Exactly.
It makes it even more uncomfortable.
All right, so we got some questions about this Sunday of how it is going to be different, and I think the fact that the differences start tonight. Gators down at Comerica Park. I'm in the 97.1 The Ticket Command Center. We've got the Wide 9 Omaha Around the League Blitz thingy at 10:30.
Yeah.
97.1 The Ticket. Hey, hold on to your glasses because some exciting news in the world of vodka. Stoli Vodka, the iconic brand known for its exceptional quality and rich heritage, has just unveiled a stunning new bottle design that's sure to turn heads at your next gathering. The new Stoli Vodka bottle is a true work of art. It's sleek, it's modern, it's got a silhouette that reflects the brand's commitment to innovation and premium craftsmanship. But it's not just about the looks. It's what's inside that counts. Grab a bottle today. Experience a spirit that has captivated the world for generations. Stoli Vodka. It's the taste of excellence. Cheers.
On that punt return, there was a blatant leg trip right in front of the referee, right in front of the
ball carrier,
in front of Gibson.
Yeah,
and they blew it. They missed it. That should now look. They would have only been. Chances are they would have ended up either scoring or kicking a field goal anyway because it took place about the 20-yard line approximately. If I'm not,
somewhere in there. So
Yes.
I mean, maybe they got to get one first down,
Yes.
or maybe they don't even need a first down. Who knows?
Mhm.
But they would have been forced to go through the process.
Yeah.
It was amazing to me that it was missed because of the proximity to where the ball was.
Yes. And also on that play, former Lion punter Sam Martin, very, very lame effort to try to make the tackle. I mean, your buddy Hank Winchester has to be very disappointed in you, Sam. That was really, really lame.
Yeah, it was. You could hear him go, eh. Two-hand touch does not count as being down. So the thing that you got to know, and every punter, every kicker is taught, use the sideline as an extra defender. Mm-hmm. He overplayed it and got beat by a better athlete going back inside, and that's when you hear the
John Jensen with his Sam Martin imitation. conversation.
Wow, we got some big news right here, right now. Lions
big
home
news?
opener. Big news. Lions
Is
home
this a
opener.
whoa?
It was New York.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and call it a whoa. It's not
Okay.
it could be clear here. It's not breaking news.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
We got Lions tickets to give away for Sunday's home opener.
Whoa.
Yeah, there you go.
That is a whoa.
It is a whoa.
Dude, we're giving away tickets to the Lions game?
We are giving away tickets to the Lions game.
Is it a pair of tickets?
It is a pair of tickets.
Do you know how much that's worth right now?
Well, I don't know where the seats are, but technically it is worth $176 at the least because that's the buy-in price.
There you go.
Yeah.
Per ticket?
Per ticket, yes. Plus fees.
Wow.
Yeah. All right, so here's the deal.
You know how much gas that can buy, Doug? If you were to sell them, but you're not going to sell them because you want to be at the game.
Yeah, there's some restrictions on that, but yes.
How we giving those away?
We're giving them away with a Carson Anderson quiz question, and
All right.
today the commitment isn't huge. The giveaway time is 12:26. 12:26. So just over 2 hours from now, and starting right now, we're going to have a Carson Anderson quiz question. That'd be something after I said it starts, which was right back then.
Okay.
Something said between back then and 12:26 would be the answer to the quiz question.
So it might be a question could be something like, hey, what did Gator find uncomfortable about this weekend's game? And the answer would be the blue ski match.
Yeah, exactly. So whatever something said on this show, it's usually pretty simple. Although I thought last week's was pretty tough, but Kang, somebody got it right away.
First one.
Yeah, it was. Well, I don't know if it was the first one, but it was Gil. The correct answer was the name Gil. That's how crazy. You never know what it's going to be, right?
Right.
You deserve those tickets, man.
Yeah.
I don't think we're ever going to forget the name Gil.
No.
Gil is the moron who
Yes.
who was part of the group that decided they
When
would
someone
rather go
makes
see
a
the
bad
Lions
decision,
play.
yes. When
Yeah.
someone makes a bad decision, we'll say, "Was it
I
Gil
pulled a
bad?"
Gil.
Yeah, I pulled a
Right,
Gil. Is
exactly.
it Gil bad? Is it? I hear you. I'm with you.
It's like
All
when
right.
Homer Simpson injured Magic Johnson, and Magic went down to the ground and goes, "Hey, I pulled the homer."
Is that
Yeah,
like
there's
pulling a
bunch of
Munson?
Simpsons back
No,
there.
is that like-
It is. It actually is kind of like being Munson out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so anyway, listen today till 12:26. We'll give away a pair of tickets. They are in the Miller Lite Tap Room for the game this Sunday against Seattle. And if you don't win, stop by Buffalo Wild Wings in Woodhaven tonight for the Thursday football feast from 6 to 10 for another chance to win, courtesy of Miller Lite and Buffalo Wild Wings. 248-539-9797. All right, I mentioned before the break, I'll tell you what's different already. I'm watching tonight's game, rooting like crazy for Philadelphia with a little bit more intensity than I typically would. And, yeah, I always kind of watch the other games in the NFC North. I don't think I ever remember being this dialed in to watching an NFC North team play and hoping that they lose. But I'm very much dialed into that, Gator.
Yeah, I am as well. And I'm also interested in this. And I know the guys are kind of talking about it at the end of the morning show, the whole up-down theory.
Mm-hmm.
How does that work for tonight's game? Because you and I subscribe to the same thing, and that is that up-down theory only really applies to the middle of the pack teams.
Yep.
It doesn't apply to the extremes, the really great teams or the really bad teams. Here you've got a game where Philadelphia, who I think is one of the great teams, a Super Bowl contending team, they're coming off a nice win, and they're taking on Minnesota, who's clearly one of the middler teams, and Minnesota was embarrassed at home by losing to Baker Mayfield. So up-down would suggest that the Vikings play well tonight, but not win the game because Philadelphia is one of the better teams in the league. Is this correct?
Yes.
Or is up-down theory Vikings win?
Well, unless Philadelphia is a middling team. Look, the up-down theory, we're kind of spitballing an idea here. It doesn't apply all the time, every time. I bet you'd find that it's applicable most of the time. So I'm not guaranteeing a Philly win here or anything like that. I'm just saying that I suspect. I suspect Philly's one of the better teams in the league, and they should win tonight.
Yeah, and our eyes are going to be on this for two reasons. A, you've got the Vikings who are in the division, and two, we're scouting Philadelphia for the end of the season in the playoffs.
True that. 248-539-9797. Let's go to Martin. You're on 97.1 The Ticket. Hi, Martin.
How my boys?
Hey, Martin.
My boys. I had to step outside. How about that game Thursday? How about that game, my boys?
That was a week ago, yes.
Nice.
We remember.
That was nice.
Yep.
That was nice, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I changed my prediction. There's no team in the NFL that's going to beat us this year.
All right, easy there.
That's it. It's done.
17-0, and then we're going to go 20-0. Is that what you're saying?
But we rest the starters with the last week, so I don't even care if we lose that game. We're losing the next 16. Easy. Doug Gator.
Yes.
My boys.
Yes.
Martin.
1-0, baby.
They are indeed 1-0.
1-0. They disrespected us with that power rankings. They really disrespected us.
You think?
Well, call them out. I mean, there were a bunch of people that did. It wasn't just one power ranking.
100%. I know. I seen the one on ESPN. That was the only one I was going through. We were ranked 8. Green Bay was ahead of us.
Were they?
They were 8 and Green Bay was ahead going into the game?
Yeah.
Wait, going into the game or coming out of week 1?
No. This is after week 1.
Okay. Yeah, so it's still disrespect.
Yeah, disrespect. My boys,
disrespect
what
right
up?
now. Oh, Martin.
You guys aren't hyped. You guys aren't talking about this enough. You guys aren't talking about our team enough.
It's basically.
Did you just say we're not talking about the Lions enough? Said no one ever until right now.
When my Amazon gets shipped, I got my blue ski mask. I'm heading to Detroit Sunday.
You're going. Are you going to wear it the whole game, or is it a turnover ski mask?
No, man. I'm gonna wear it, but I'm not gonna wear it all day.
All right, yeah. All right.
But I'm bringing it for sure.
All right, sweet.
For sure.
All right, so we'll be looking for you. You'll be the one in the ski mask.
Yeah, with Albanian Martin writing with a marker on my white T-shirt in the back.
All right, sweet.
I will say this about let me say this about the ski mask thing, okay? Because I felt a little uncomfortable the whole thing because I think it's just not necessarily a good look. If they only use it, if the fans had come to Ford Field, if they only donned a ski mask after a turnover, so it's like the fans' turnover chain, that I love.
That's cool.
Because that's like, we just stole the ball from you. That's great. Wearing it because you think that makes you look like a villain throughout the game, I don't like that. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah, 100%. 100%.
All right, just a heads up,
Martin,
nothing
less than 100%.
The Lions are 7th in ESPN's power rankings, and Green Bay is 14th.
Okay, I must have seen that wrong then.
Still disrespectful. Still disrespectful.
It's disrespect. 7th.
Yeah.
For a team that's going to go 16-1 at worst, according to Martin.
That's right. Let's go to Mike. You're next. What's up, Mike?
That is disrespectful. When are the Lions going to be a top 5 team, dang it? No. there are a lot of like preseason rankings in the NFL. Power rankings really don't mean anything.
Of course.
But here's the thing, though.
No.
What if we root for the Vikings because we think we're going to be fighting with the Eagles for the top seeds up there? So you can take up that ball.
Big picture. Oh, my
Second
man.
level.
Look at Mike. Second level, 30,000-foot view. I like it.
Mike sees things in 4D.
Yes, he does.
I like it.
Well, and you know what? Who cares? People already say we're trash in Detroit. They already say that we're thugs and all those other silly words. Just, you know what? Whatever. Embrace it. Wear those ski masks or whatever. And here's my main thought, though. The Seahawks, every year I say the Lions should beat the Seahawks, and every time they play the Seahawks, they lose. It seems like Pete Carroll has a trouble about Pete Carroll, so just win the game. I don't care if it's stylish.
They've scored 99 points against the Lions the last 2 years. By the way, Kang, you know what these first two calls tell me? Detroit Lions fans, we don't know what to do with our hands. We don't. we have no idea.
You can just keep them down by your side, sir.
Yeah, well, they're doing. Never mind.
Yeah, never mind. All right, move
Stop.
on.
Full stop.
You don't keep them by your face. Go ahead.
Yes, go ahead and keep them up in perfect
in plain
view.
sight. Yes,
everyone can see your hands. All right. If you're sitting at a desk, make sure you got them up in the air and say hello.
Wave them around like you just don't care.
Exactly. Yeah. 10-2. 10-2. Hands 10-2 on the wheel.
We swing around the NFL Max 97.1.
Last night, Aaron Rodgers, it was New York, a lot of celebrities there.
Yep.
I'm watching this clip of Aaron Rodgers before the game, and he's dapping it up with Justin Timberlake.
Okay.
Obviously, Rodgers, full uniform. He's got the helmet on and everything. Like, this is like, I don't know, half an hour before game. I don't know when.
Minutes before.
Yeah, who knows, right? Timberlake's on the field in, like, sunglasses, a hat, dress casual. They dap it up together. Hey, man, good luck tonight, da-da-da, whatever. Thanks for coming. Rodgers turns around to go to the tunnel, and Timberlake pats him on the butt. Now, my question is, since he's in full uniform, is that just a thing? Could Rodgers turn around and tap Timberlake on the butt even though he's in casual clothes?
No, you have to be playing a sport in uniform.
Okay.
Yep.
But if you're in uniform, it's like, hey, that's just part of the good luck out there?
Yeah, I think that's when it's appropriate. All right, just for clarity's sake, Pete Prisco of CBS Sports, his power rankings, Lions 10th, Packers 9th.
Joke.
Yeah, so.
He's on the list.
There's the disrespect. There's the disrespect we're looking for.
Can't believe Prisco would do that.
Prisco. All right, you ready to swing around the NFL?
You know it.
All right, so yesterday, Gator, I went first, so today you go first. NFL questions, Kang's got them, 6 of them. Let's go.
All right, guys, the biggest story in the NFL this week was Aaron Rodgers getting hurt 4 plays into the game, and it looks like the Jets are going to go with Zach Wilson and possibly sign a free agent quarterback to be the backup. Is this the right move to stick with Zach Wilson, and if not, who would you guys go after to replace Rodgers this year?
I think it is the right move because you do this, it's inexpensive. You've got the guy who's been in camp and knows the playbook better than anybody else other than Aaron Rodgers, and you want to bring in a free agent quarterback. There's a few of those that are okay. But really what you need to do is address the real problem on the team, which is the offensive line. Because obviously a healthy Aaron Rodgers didn't last 5 plays with that offensive line. And the rest of the game, Zach Wilson was running for his life. Those are the problems with the Jets right now. They're going to find themselves just being a running team, which is fine because they've got the horses that can run. So that's the way to do it. It doesn't matter who you bring in. You can go get Tom Brady, and it's not going to help that team out.
It's the right move for 2 reasons. One is Zach Wilson. He was a number 2 overall pick back in 2021. He obviously got off to a bit of a rocky start in the locker room and on the field. But you may as well try to exhaust the resource and have him play all season. By the end of this year, you'll have a good sense of whether or not he's got a salvageable career. Could he actually live up to the physical skill set, which is what he was scouted with coming out of BYU? And it's also the right move because probably the most realistic path for the Jets to the top of the NFL is to tank and to get a pick near the top of the draft where they can take the best offensive lineman to protect Aaron Rodgers next year. Or they can draft their quarterback of the future in Caleb Williams or Drake May, depending on how bad they are. So I think they could take 2 approaches. 1, exhaust the resource that is Zach Wilson, and 2, maybe just tank.
I don't know if it's the right move, guys. I think it's their only move because it's clear to me that Jets organization does not believe in Zach Wilson. If they believed it was just an offensive line issue, they would have addressed the offensive line instead of putting all their resources into getting a quarterback named Aaron Rodgers. I would have done everything in my power to try to convince Tom Brady to come back. I know it sounds crazy, but he is the greatest quarterback of all time. And I know the offensive line looks terrible. You know how hard it is, though, to win with just defense alone? I don't care how good the Jets' defense is. I think Zach Wilson, if he doesn't get better quickly, they're in trouble. The NFLPA director has called for natural grass at all NFL stadiums after the Aaron Rodgers season-ending injury occurred on artificial turf. Do you think the NFL should require all stadiums to have natural grass?
Yes. Yes, they should. I like grass stains on uniforms. I like the smell of freshly cut grass when you get close enough to the field. And if the data's out there, and I haven't read all the different studies that have taken place, but the data, if it's claiming the grass is safer, go for it. Nobody plays on that old school AstroTurf anymore for a reason. And you say, oh, how are you going to do it with indoor stadiums? Well, you look at indoor stadiums in the NHL and the NBA, they're constantly changing the surface for the purposes of the games that they are playing. They can constantly bring in trays of grass from the outside. Gator, I read a story actually that I believe Michigan State does that even now for their current grass field. So it can be done and it should be done.
Well, I think it should be done, but not until they have a viable solution with how to actually put the grass indoors. I was watching Pat McAfee show yesterday, and they were talking about that and how they even had problems. They do this in Arizona, right? They have it all on a sheet or on a tray, and they bring it in to the stadium. And then they had the Super Bowl, and it was a disaster a couple years ago, or maybe it was last year.
It was the Fiesta Bowl and the Super Bowl.
It was a disaster. The field was a disaster when they did that because they didn't listen to, as they called it, the sod father, who had been the guy who'd been around the Super Bowl his entire career until last year. They didn't consult him, and he's like, you got to do this and this, and they didn't do that. I don't know how you're going to be able to do it in indoor stadiums that aren't equipped to simply slide in the giant tray of sod. Like, look at Ford Field. How are they going to do that? You're going to have to do it by section by section, and it's not the same.
Guys, the NFL says their studies say there is no difference, but I've seen other studies suggest differently. I think in the end, you got to ask the players if they want the change. And if they want the change, you do it. Now, it might not be able to be done all this year, but I think moving forward, I've always thought stadiums should always be retractable roofs. They have enough money, they can do this. And if not, they can bring in the grass. They do it for soccer, guys. And soccer, if they do it for soccer, they can do it for the NFL. The NFL prints money. If the players really want this and they feel like it's not just Achilles or torn, ACLs, it's also concussions. Yeah. So I think they should definitely do this. C.J. Stroud versus Anthony Richardson this week, 2 of the top 4 picks in the NFL draft. And this is only the second time in NFL history that the 2 starting quarterbacks facing each other are under the age of 22 years old. Who wins and who will have a better career, Richardson or Stroud?
Well, I think Stroud and the Texans win. I think they have the potential game wrecker on defense with Will Anderson, who's going to haunt Richardson all game long. Plus, I think Stroud is just more complete at this time. I think his floor is a lot higher than what Richardson's is. And I frankly just think he's better. Now, it doesn't mean that Richardson isn't good. I think he's talented, and they can both be very good in their careers, and I think they both will be. But I just give Stroud the edge at this point.
Well, I bet on an Ohio State quarterback. So I think Stroud has a much more traditional NFL skill set, and as of now is more NFL ready. But Richardson is such an athlete. But they're both in organizations that I would describe as sketch magetch. I literally don't know what my answer to this question is right up until now. So I'm just going to go C.J. Stroud will have the better career, but I bet that the Colts win tonight.
You guys know who I'm going with. I'm going to Anthony Richardson, okay? I actually expected worse from Richardson in his first start last week, but the Colts had a chance to win that game. He had a bad pick, which we're going to see plenty of this year because there's going to be some bumps and bruises. But I think you talk about the organization, I'm looking at the head coach, Doug. I think DeMeco Ryans being a defensive specialist obviously does not help Stroud as much as the Colts coach is going to help Anthony Richardson. He, previously with the Eagles, knowing how to use Jalen Hurts, I think that helps Richardson a ton. I think he's going to win this weekend, and I think he'll have a better career overall. Rookie defensive tackle Jalen Carter had a great week 1, finishing with 8 pressures and a sack. Lions rookie Jahmyr Gibbs showed flashes of what makes him special, forcing 6 missed tackles on only 7 carries for 42 yards. After only 1 week, guys, do you think the Lions made the right pick in passing up Carter for Gibbs?
Yes. Look, these are long plays. This is a lifetime investment. GMs aren't day traders trying to score big profits quick. Jahmyr Gibbs isn't a short sell. So, yeah, I'm still comfortable with what the Lions did. There were some reasons, some red flags potentially around Jalen Carter. Let's just watch and see how it plays out. I hope he has a great career, but the only path to success wasn't through Jalen Carter. I'm comfortable with what the Lions did still, yes.
I love Jahmyr Gibbs. I'm fascinated by his speed and what that can mean for this team. But no, I think they did make a mistake. Jalen Carter is a force in the middle. He's exactly what the Lions need. He's shown it from game 1 that he is beyond disruptive. From a football standpoint, Carter's the guy. But the Lions had their reasons for not taking him. All right, they're looking for something very specific in a player, and he didn't fit the characteristics that they were looking for. There's the off-field litigation, and obviously his interview didn't go as well as maybe they thought it would. So, and the Lions made the move for what they wanted to do. But what do I think? I think it's a mistake. I think Jalen Carter is that talent. And, Doug, to your point about the long play, the running back is never the long play, certainly not now.
Well, I think you only need the running back to play out very well, at least his first contract. I'm going to stick with Gibbs. Yeah. I trust Holmes and Campbell. There was a reason why they passed on Carter, so I'm just going to put my trust in those 2 guys and why they did pass on him. It's only week 1, of course. We'll have to revisit this in a few years. Who will be the first quarterback benched due to poor play?
Ryan Tannehill. Sorry, did I say that quickly enough? Look, the real question in Tennessee is, can they get Will Levis up to speed in a hurry? You have Malik Willis there, who's right now he's the backup, and he's been there longer, so he should be more up to speed, but maybe he isn't. The Ryan Tannehill's terrible. He just is. He had a great season when he first got there. The play-action game was amazing because of the running back that they had. But right now it seems like teams around the league have figured that out, and Ryan Tannehill looks like a backup quarterback at best.
First quarterback to be benched because of poor play, Tua.
Just stop.
Malik Willis is.
What do you want me to say? Brock Purdy?
Yeah,
is that what you want me to say?
Yes. Yeah, it's Ryan Tannehill. Malik Willis is going to get his shot this year to prove himself.
Guys, Ryan Tannehill is the easy answer, but it is the right one. I mean, he's terrible. He's just not the same quarterback as he was in 2020. His decision making is awful. I think, this is just, you got to go with Tannehill. Last one, guys. More embarrassing, losing 40-0 on national TV or that tackle attempt by the Bills punter Sam Martin?
So great question. I guess as an individual, if you're a member of the New York Giants and you're Sam Martin, the more embarrassing one is Sam Martin. Because if you are a Giant, you can say, hey, it wasn't me, and point your finger at somebody else. It's a terrible attitude, but it's an easy coping mechanism to how embarrassing that was. Sam Martin has nobody else to point a finger at. It's on him.
Doug, let me use a movie reference that you'll understand. It's like when Seth said in Superbad about one of the kids who wet himself, people don't forget. It's Sam Martin all day long. The team, you can get over that, and it's a bad game, yuck, throw it in the garbage. That move, that attempt at a tackle from Sam Martin is something that he will never, ever live down. That isn't going down in infamy like the butt fumble.
I don't think I'm overreacting by saying Sam Martin should consider retiring. I'm serious. That is way more embarrassing. I think he brought shame upon his family name. He might, I don't know if he has kids or not, but they're growing up without a father in the household because this is uncalled for. It's terrible. Why does he have a helmet? Why does he have pads? Sam Martin.
And that concludes the Wide 9 Omaha 4 down around the league blitz thingy. Hey, get ready for the NFL season with an incredible offer from FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed. Plus, all customers who bet $5 will get $100 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Just visit FanDuel.com/Doug. That's FanDuel.com/Doug to kick off the NFL season. Right, must be 21 or older and present in Michigan. First online real money wager, only $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable bonus bet that expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problems? Call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help. NFL Sunday Ticket offer ends September 18th. No refunds, terms, and embargoes do apply. $100 off NFL Sunday Ticket, not YouTube TV. YouTube TV base plan required to watch YouTube TV. Redemption requires a Google account and current form of payment. Commercial use excluded. Subscriptions renew, cancel anytime. There's a lot out there. There's a lot that this team needs to answer to. Like I said, we know that they have the personnel to win, but are they ready to be winners? I think winners go out and win this game. And, Seattle, in spite of what happened in week 1, I don't think that's a true representation of who they are, though it may be. We'll find out over the course of time. I tend to believe in the Wojo up-down theory, which I don't. Doesn't make sense to me that that's a thing, but it's a thing. It is a thing.
I think it's a thing for non-Super Bowl contending teams. That's what I think.
So the bulk of the teams in the middle, it's a thing for, but
Yes.
the elites and the terrible ones, it's not a thing for.
Correct.
That might
I think if you're a bad team, you're a bad team. And if you're a great team, you're a great team.
Yeah.
And if you're contending, anything can happen because it's the NFL and parity is there in the NFL.
Yep.
Yeah, I woke up to 56 text messages, and I'm going, all right, who's dead? And then you realize it's our head coach. So let's just get into it, and I can throw the number out. You know the number, 248-539-9797. Public service announcement. Mel Tucker might be the dumbest human being to ever walk the face of the earth. He's a character out of Idiocracy. When you read the story out of USA Today, to say there was a lack of judgment would say there was a degree of judgment at all. The pure idiocy of Mel Tucker.
Yeah, and 20 billion women in the world.
Yeah. It just, again, and I don't want to go over every granular detail. You heard it in the mornings. You heard it in the middays. The bottom line is this. We are so far past even having to battle anyone defending him. There is no defense. His defense of consensual doesn't even play because he violated the morality clause in his contract.
Right.
It is so reassuring. Once I found out that MSU had done everything right by the letter of the law, I then was able to move towards where I'm at today, which I got to be honest, I don't know if people will understand this. I don't know if they will care. Rico, I don't know if you will. I just feel relieved because I am a big believer when people show you who they really are, instead of getting angry, say thank you.
Doug Carr, Scott Anderson, 97.1 The Ticket. I'm in the 97.1 Ticket Studios. Gator down at Comerica Park. Tigers take on the Reds this afternoon. All right, so we opened the show talking about this game coming up on Thursday and how big it is, and it might be, we expect it to be the best atmosphere in the history of Ford Field for a Lions game. And, the question is, can it match a Monday night game in terms of intensity? Can people bring a Sunday 1 p.m., can they bring that intensity to Ford Field the way they did on a Monday night? The buy-in price as of this morning to get into Ford Field was $146 a piece for standing room tickets. Actually, the cheapest actual seat, and this was like $930, $915. Cheapest actual seat was $176. Again, I'm going to ask a question here that some in our audience might find blasphemous, borderline offensive. But I will bravely power through anyway and ask the question. Is this going to be bigger than Tigers opening day?
Is it bigger than this year's opening day? Yes.
Is it bigger than the biggest opening day?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so. I mean, we used to have just the whole atmosphere downtown for opening day. I mean, they close off streets, we'd have a giant party. There'd be, feels like well over 100,000 people that were here. We had, our station would sponsor the party out there, by, right in the middle of town here. I think it's a different type of atmosphere.
Yeah, much of what you said there is true. There'll be streets closed and there'll be a giant party. I don't know if there'll be 100,000 people. I don't think do we have anything? We don't have a huge party. I know we have a live presence down there, but you're right about that.
I think football is a different sport than baseball when it comes to like wanting to come down and be part of that atmosphere. College is different because there's the whole tailgating aspect, and some people just want to stay at the tailgate and they'll bring the TV out and stuff. But for pros, I mean, it's about the watching atmosphere, in the watching experience. So if you don't have a ticket to the game, I doubt there's going to be many people that come down just to be part of the atmosphere, soak it in, and then go to one of the bars locally.
It's a good question.
I think you're going to want to go home. I'm coming to the game, and if I weren't part of the media and didn't have a pass or didn't have a ticket, I would absolutely sit at home and I'd be locked into this game and put it on the biggest TV you got and enjoy it from home.
Well, that's a great question. How many people are planning on going down there that don't have tickets? Like, is it that kind of game that you just want to be part of the atmosphere? And if you are, where are you going? Why? What's the call? 248-539-9797. Let's get to your open line calls. We're going to Josh. You're next on 97.1. Hi, Josh.
Hey, guys. Yeah, my wife and I are going. We're actually 140 row 26, so we're pretty stoked.
Nice.
But I want to know if there's a healthy discussion we can have that Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia were actually way worse than Matt Millen ever was, and I'll tell you this right now. Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia thought they knew football. Doug, you're going to love this stat. From the games I watch, Darius Slay gets a pick six every week. And I am so sick of seeing Darius Slay get a pick six, and he's not a Detroit Lion.
And those two men ruined this team more than Matt Millen ever did, because Matt Millen never claimed to be a genius. Those two men claimed to be geniuses, and I watch Darius Slay. I'm telling you, the games I watch, he gets a pick six every week.
I hear you.
And I'm sick of it.
I don't know. I think that people, if you go back in time, people gave the NFL acumen to Matt Millen as if he were a genius. If you have to go back in time, honestly, people thought that he knew exactly what he was doing. A very smart guy. We hear it every week. And, he was there. The problem with Matt Millen is that they didn't get him out quick enough. Like, he was awful for so long, and it took, the owner's son to come out and say we're embarrassed by it.
You've made it. First of all, I love your statistic.
It's a great stat.
It's a stat that
it's factual.
It is a fact. It's data.
I can prove.
But Josh, I think you actually made a compelling argument that Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia were a bigger letdown based upon what they were billed as than Matt Millen. Matt Millen took them created the worst team in the history of the league, and they didn't come out of that spiral for years. What Quinn and Patricia left has been turned into a winning team in 3 years. So, and they have some pieces part of it. They were bad, don't get me wrong, but some of their pieces are still here helping. But I think you've made a great argument for them being a bigger letdown than Millen.
But Matt Millen didn't take over a winning team like Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia did. The Lions were a winning team with talent, and he gave it away for nothing.
Yeah, he did.
But Millen never had
factual.
But Millen never had a winning team, and he was there forever. It felt like there forever. And to Doug's point, I mean, the foundation on that offensive line was built by Bob Quinn picks when you look at it. And I guess maybe Mayhew did Mayhew make a pick of Decker, or was that Quinn? But I think you had Decker, Ragnow, and Jonah Jackson. Are those all Bob Quinn picks?
2016, right? I think that was Quinn's first year.
So I think you have 3 picks on that offensive line that were made by Bob Quinn. Yeah. Starting from the center out to the left side.
Not to argue that Bob Quinn didn't suck, okay?
He was terrible.
Yeah, but are there pieces here? Yeah, there are pieces.
If there was only like a second-round pick we could use as an example of how bad it was. It's like a defensive back or something. I just can't. And when was there a first-round pick of a defensive back that didn't work out?
Yes.
Anything like that? I don't know. I can't rack my brain and think of it. I'm sorry, Doug.
That's quite all right. Delmo is next. Hi, Delmo.
Hey, what's going on, y'all?
How we doing?
Hey.
All right, doing good. So I am almost positive all the fans, people who are not going to actually go to the game will be there. They will treat it like a Detroit Tiger opening day game. They will be there for the tailgate. If some people can score tickets, maybe from a scalper or something, they'll go. But other than that, I think the bars will be filled. The weather is supposed to be great. There will definitely be many thousands of people who have no intentions, no tickets of going to the game that will be there repping the Lions and, just tailgating and enjoying the atmosphere.
So you are predicting it's a Tigers opening day type feel down there this weekend.
What?
I'm stoked for it. I'm stoked, Delmo. I think you're right. Now I don't know. Like opening day is setting the bar very high, and maybe we'll get down there and discover, oh my God, this is even bigger than opening day, or not even close. But
this is one of those times where I kind of wish that we had heard that LCA is going to have the game on the screens outside, and have that whole area there that we're dying to use for playoff atmosphere for Red Wings or Pistons. That they would do that for the Lions, because it is supposed to be a beautiful day, and you can have a party atmosphere, but they didn't plan it out like that.
No, and I'm thinking that it has a chance to be like a Tiger opening day. I don't know that to be the case. I wouldn't think that anything comes close to Tiger opening day, but this could be it. Now we mentioned Pete Prisco having the Packers ranked ahead of the Lions. Prisco's pick on the Lions Seahawks game. Lions 29, Seahawks 20. So he does have the Lions moving to 2-0.
What a suck up.
What's that?
What a suck up.
He also has Green Bay moving to 2-0 with a win. And he's got, here's the shocker, Jaguars 31, Chiefs 30.
Well, I mean, if Kelsey's out again, that could be interesting. But looks like Jones is going to play, right?
Yeah. I'm going to do a way too early conclusion as it pertains to our Lions and this division. We'll get to that at 11:02. Plus, Loser Chooser coming up and another edition of Are You Going to Eat That at 11:30. It's Carson Anderson, 97.1 The Ticket.
I'm a big Harlan Barnett guy. I'm full disclosure here. I worked with Harlan 25 years ago. We were on the Spartan broadcast together. His NFL career had just finished up, and he knew Nick Saban pretty well and had an opportunity to be part of the broadcast team as our sideline reporter for a couple seasons. And then when Saban went on to LSU,
brought to you by Grand Traverse Resort
Harlan
and Spa. Day baseball coming up for the Tigers. They'll get one more shot at the Reds before leaving town. And Kerry Carpenter is batting cleanup today and joined Stoney and Jansen on the air this morning talking about the big turnaround by his teammate Spencer Torkelson, who's been mashing lately. Torque is now just 2 away from 30 home runs for the year, something a Tiger hasn't done since Justin Upton in 2016. But the team today takes on Cincinnati at 1:10 p.m. Dan Dickerson will have the call right here on 97.1 The Ticket with Reese Olson ready to start. The Michigan Sports Hall of Fame will induct 10 new members, including Rip Hamilton, Henrik Zetterberg, Lamar Woodley, Lorenzo White, and Doc Emmerich, among others. He's from St. Clair. Tickets can still be had for $25 for the event at 6 o'clock at Motor City Casino Hotel. Up in Traverse City, the up-and-comers of Detroit hockey will play the 24th annual Prospect Tournament at Center Ice Arena. They face the future of the Dallas Stars for tonight's game, then the Blue Jackets and Maple Leafs Saturday and Sunday. Tickets are $15 each day if you want to check out the young talent. And the NFL's second week officially gets underway tonight in Philly as the Vikings and Eagles play at 8:15. Radio coverage on the Bet 1270. TV coverage will be streaming on Amazon Prime. At the Ticket Update Desk, I'm Chris Villar. For more, go to 97.1 The Ticket and Odyssey.com.
All right, some feedback coming in. Let's get to it. Before we do that, though, let me remind you that we are giving away Detroit Lions tickets with a Carson Anderson quiz question. Listen for your chance to win a pair of tickets to the Miller Lite Tap Room for the Lions home opener this Sunday against Seattle. It'll be a Carson Anderson quiz question today at 12:26. Something said on the air will be the answer to the quiz question. Usually it's kind of easy, so make sure you're listening and paying attention between now and 12:26. First one with the correct answer gets the Lions tickets. But if you don't win, stop by Buffalo Wild Wings in Woodhaven tonight for the Thursday football feast from 6 to 10 for another chance to win, courtesy of Miller Lite and Buffalo Wild Wings. And, of course, tonight is a game with an NFC North team playing the Minnesota Vikings. They are taking on the Philadelphia Eagles, a defending NFC champion. I am at the 97.1 The Ticket Command Center, and Gator is down at is down at Comerica Park.
That's right.
And
let me say this, Doug, it is gorgeous out.
Yep.
I mean, it's a little cooler, and it's going to get a little bit warmer, maybe get, 65, close to 70, but it is absolutely gorgeous. There's only a few clouds in the sky. The blue sky is out and about. It's very sunny. It's awesome out here.
So
perfect day to come down to the ballpark.
Because of that, Ben, who runs our video feed for Twitch and YouTube, thank you, Ben, he does a great job, has commandeered a stock photo of Gator.
Oh, no.
And it is now
really? Sorry.
It's being used on our video stream. A picture of you and a visitor or a friend. And so go to twitch.tv and search up 971 The Ticket, or youtube.com and search up 971.
Gator, is it a Bark at the Park day today?
It is not, no, but it was last night apparently. Oh,
it's a great
nice.
picture.
There's my dog.
Yeah. And that dog, I want to caption what the dog is thinking.
How'd you get that couch in front of Gate A?
I think let's have some fun. Let's
Apparently
take some
stuck a
text.
guitar out there too.
Let's take some text right now. And what Lois, the dog, in the background of the Gator stock photo. First of all, you can go to see the photo, go to twitch.tv. Search up 971 The Ticket, or go to youtube.com, search up 971 The Ticket, and bang, there's the stock photo of Gator, who's at Comerica Park. What is Lois the dog thinking?
Perfect. Incidentally, I'm wearing the same shirt in that picture that I wore yesterday on the show.
Of course. All right, so we need 10 texts. When do we need the 10 texts? Okay, thank you, God. Get the text over and make sure that you sign your text so we give credit where credit is due.
I'm looking at what? No thunder? I'm looking at some of the responses.
Yeah,
it is a beautiful day, but I mean, looking at some responses on Twitch already.
Yeah,
people are on top of it.
Yes. Anyway, check it out. Go to go to twitch.tv and see the picture of YouTube. What is Lois the dog thinking in the background? We'll read a whole bunch of those coming up. Okay. As we continue, Gator, I want to make a way too early conclusion. But one of the worst losses of week one was the Vikings at home to Tampa. Would you not agree?
Yes.
Would you not agree that one of the most disappointing losses for a fan base was the Bears at home to Green Bay?
Absolutely. Look at smoke, 38-20? Yeah.
Yeah. Is this going to be Detroit versus Green Bay this year? Is that what it's going to be for this division?
No.
It's not. You're not ready to go there.
No, I don't. I think when all is said and done, the Lions win this division by at least 2 games.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I don't think this is coming down to a showdown at the end of the year against Minnesota. I think that game on Thanksgiving, is it against the Packers on Thanksgiving?
Yep.
I think that's going to be a real nice turkey day here in Detroit, and could totally shut any kind of narrative down that, the Lions may have to shut up. It's done.
Yeah. It's if Green Bay stays good up until that game, I mean, we're talking about this Sunday perhaps being a blow the roof off the place kind of thing, but if the Lions can live up to their end of the bargain, like they got a huge game at Green Bay potentially at the end of this month, and then Green Bay on Thanksgiving, and we could be looking at that Thanksgiving game could be an all-timer. It was already popular no matter how good or bad the Lions were. But if they are really good and Green Bay stays in this thing, I mean, that could be looking down the road, huge if, but not as big a if as in previous seasons. If things go the way we hope they will, this could be a huge Thanksgiving Day game. And it could be Detroit and Green Bay, the 2 best teams in this division. A little early, I admit, but
yeah, I think you're way early on that, but that's okay.
Like I said, I sin licensed it. I said, I know this is early. I know this is a way too early call, but hell, why not?
Oh, there's sin license.
Lions and Packers. It's their division. So the other thing is, as we kind of take a look at the health of this team, Ragnow seems to be okay and trending to play this weekend. Manuel Mosley now has a hamstring, so that's not good. And Decker, I know that yesterday Dan Campbell said that Taylor Decker is getting better every day. Did we see a practice report? Do we know if he practiced?
Yesterday?
Yes.
I don't believe that Decker practiced yesterday. Mosley was not practicing yesterday. Ragnow was a full participant, I believe.
Okay. So the Ragnow thing is just going to be maintenance all season long, right?
Yeah, and he spoke afterwards and was talking to reporters, and he had a big smile on his face, and he seemed to make it as though they figured some things out with how to make it tolerable. He's like, I had some dark days, worrying about my toe and this stupid injury, and but the staff has been incredible, and we've gotten to a point where it's manageable, and I'll be okay. I'm fine.
Here's the practice report. Yeah, Taylor Decker did not practice yesterday. Now, would you get at his point in his career? I mean, I'd prefer to have him practicing, but he probably doesn't need to practice as much as some other guys, so just get him healthy for Sundays. We shall see what his status is today when that becomes available, but it'll be just kind of eye-rolly if he can't go, and the Lions' offensive line, as constructed, lasted all of one game before somebody got hurt.
That would be brutal.
It would be brutal, but they got away with it last year for most of the year. You can lose a guy. In fact, you should expect to lose a guy. It's unrealistic not to think that somebody isn't going to get hurt, right?
I hate to even think about it, particularly if it's Decker, because then we're going to start doing shows. Do they need to move Sewell over to the left side? And do you want to shake up the offensive line? Why do that? Just replace the guy. It's just, let's not do that. Let's hope that Decker's fine. He doesn't need to practice. He knows the playbook. It's maintenance. Keep him off that ankle. That ankle is going to be real close to 100% on Sunday, and let's roll with that.
248-539-9797. All right, we got some feedback to get to here in the Carson Anderson inbox. Not the 10 text, but this is about the Lions. I think this Sunday will be by far the biggest organic atmosphere ever. Opening day is almost too planned to be busy and crazy. That's from an unnamed texter. Detroit is about to be like a wild Thanksgiving, a meaningless game that people have tailgated and partied at. People will come to Detroit just to be in this atmosphere. It's from an unnamed texter. Matt in Farmington Hills, I'm super excited for the game Sunday. I'm bailing on my Sunday soccer team. I don't have tickets, and I don't plan on going downtown. I'll be settling in around noon with pizza, beer, and snacks, locked in on my TV, ready for a blowout victory.
All right.
Bruno in Dearborn says, I never have and never will sell my tickets to a Lions game. For me, every game downtown is like a Super Bowl Sunday. The experience, the vibe, the atmosphere. I love getting down there early to my favorite spot and enjoying the day and the game. 248-539-9797. We'll get to the 10 texts. We'll get to the 10 texts coming up at 11:15. Plus, saw something interesting today as it pertains to the next draft. We'll explain at 11:20. It's Carson Anderson, 97.1 The Ticket.
Well, once again this weekend we've got 3 football games at 3 different locations. There's going to be lots of tailgating going on, and if you really want to take that tailgate to the next level, stop off and buy yourself a bottle of Flying Ace Bourbon. Flying Ace Bourbon is awesome. It's a tribute to the American Airmen of World War I and Michigan's rich history of producing some of the finest aviators and airplanes in the world. Flying Ace is a bourbon that pays homage to both. It's a blend of aged whiskeys. It's got notes of caramel and toasted rye, also vanilla and ripe stone fruit, and it's a versatile spirit. You can drink it any way you want. You want to do shots with your friends, kind of toast the occasion, that works. You just want to drink it on the rocks or have it neat, that works too. But even if you want to throw some ginger ale in it or maybe add some cola to it, that's fine. No one's going to give it a side eye. This is an excellent bourbon to just have as an everyday sipper as well because it's only $30 a bottle. This isn't going to bust your budget at all. This is fantastic whiskey. It's a small batch American-made bourbon. It's blended in Holland, Michigan, and yep, it's part of the Coppercraft family, so you know it's high quality. Give it a try yourself. Follow at Flying Ace Spirits on Instagram. That way you get to stay up to date on all of their upcoming releases. And as always, please drink responsibly.
Florida State is a defensive coordinator and came back to Michigan State when Mel Tucker came here and wanted to bring him back. I love this opportunity for him. I don't know if he's suited to be a head coach or not, but he's going to get the opportunity. The players love him. Players love him. Families love him. He's a family guy, and his faith is very important to him, and he lets that be known as well. And I think it's a very safe hire from within at this point. I mean, you got to appoint somebody as the interim head coach. Harlan Barnett makes a ton of sense. I mean, I don't know if you're going to want it turned over to one of the coordinators. I have no issue at all with it being Harlan. In fact, I'm very happy for him.
On that punt return, there was a blatant leg trip right in front of the referee, right in front of the
ball carrier,
in front of Gibson.
Yeah,
and they blew it. They missed it. That should now look. It would have only been chances are they would have ended up either scoring or kicking a field goal anyway, because it took place about the 20-yard line approximately, if I'm not
somewhere in there. So
Yes.
I mean, maybe they got to get one first down, or maybe they don't even need a first down.
Doug Carr, Scott Anderson, 97.1 The Ticket, Gator down at Comerica Park. I'm in the 97.1 The Ticket studios. 248-539-9797. Great to be with you here on a Thursday in Detroit. So, a couple things. We mentioned the 10 techs. We have a picture that is being substituted for Gator because there's no camera down there at Comerica today. It's Gator with his dog Lois in the background, and Lois is giving him the side eye. So we've asked for 10 texts. What is Lois thinking? What is Lois thinking? From Settle Down Beavis, Lois is thinking you can't blame that fart on me.
It's probably true.
From, I don't know who this is. This man is not wearing pants. From James in a mail truck. I can use some Coppercraft in my dog bowl. From an unnamed texter, Lois is thinking, hey, old man, how about some effing blueberry pancakes? Another unnamed texter, Lois is thinking about Gator's opinion on the ski masks. Tom in Flat Rock, Lois is definitely giving Gator the, do you really need another guitar look?
That's definitely a look.
Mm-hmm. Jamie in
That's
Ann Arbor.
absolutely the look.
Lois is thinking he said we'd be on a walk, but all I'm hearing is talk about going to get a Mexican pizza. Jake at a quarry. Lois is thinking, is he really using me for his online dating profile pic again?
Yep, here we go.
That's great. 248-539-9797.
Hey, 60% of the time it works all the time.
That's right. Stephen, a mower, says, I think this Sunday's game will be similar to Tigers' opening day of years past. The difference may be that the Tigers were just trying to get out of the house after winter months. Yeah, I mean, it is a celebration. It's celebrating the arrival of spring, right? I mean, that's a big deal.
Yeah, I would say this. I think it's going to be a great atmosphere on Sunday, and I think if this team does what we think that they're capable of doing, that this could be, a good team for years to come. They built this foundation, and could we finally have a team that's playoff bound year in and year out and put something together? Then I think that the opening home game for the Lions could end up being something massive for the city of Detroit. And, I think next year people are going to be planning for it.
248-539-9797. Rob, you're on 97.1 The Ticket. Hi, Rob.
Carr, Gator, Kane, how you guys doing?
What's up?
Hi, Rob.
Hey, first time, long time.
Thank you for calling.
So I had plans to go golf outing Sunday with some buddies, and then I get a call this morning from my older brother. Says, hey, dude, going to Lions game. Got 3 tickets. You and your 2 oldest boys want to go. So
wow,
bailed on my buddies and going down to the game.
Wow.
That's pretty great.
Yeah. That is what a great. Where did your brother? Where did he score these tickets?
His company's got season tickets. I went about a couple years ago. I think they're like second bowl, corner of the end zone.
Okay.
Now, Rob, let me ask you this. You said you and your 2 oldest boys. Do you have more than 2 boys?
I do. Yeah, I got. Well, my 2 oldest. So one is 15, one just turned 13. Then I got a 6-year-old. So just kind of going with the age thing, right? There's 2 tickets. Yeah. So giving them first stops.
Have you informed the 6-year-old that he's not coming?
I haven't told anybody yet. So that's going to be like the big thing tonight when I get home.
Okay. What's the approach? How's a 6-year-old going to handle this?
I don't know. Honestly, he could be ruined. He could be like whatever. He likes to hang with mom. He's the little guy. So,
how about this? How about mom takes a 6-year-old out to the cider mill? Sounds like a good time.
Right? Perfect.
Meanwhile,
perfect.
Dad's gone.
Yep.
That's a win. That's a win-win.
Yes. Yeah. Meanwhile, your brother, uncle, whoever the uncle is a hero.
Yeah, he is.
So I have 2 older brothers, and he just kind of put himself in first place, I think.
That's right. Kids are allowed to rank their relatives, so go for it. You may as well. Well, have fun, Rob, okay?
Thanks, guys. You too.
All right,
so, I want to bring this up because, Kang, something happened to you that's never happened before. And was this Monday? Was Monday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Does this happen to all guys?
No.
I don't think so.
No.
All right.
But maybe around Detroit it might start happening all the time. Tell the people what happened.
So, I have a wardrobe like everybody else, right? Man, we have shirts that are in our rotation.
Yep.
You know, T-shirts, hats, whatever. Kind of, you know, wear every few weeks, every couple weeks maybe, you know. And one of my shirts, I have a few of these. I have a few Lions T-shirts. You guys have seen me wear it. I wear them every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anything of it. I look for a clean shirt. A lot of times in the morning, I let my daughter I put out 2 T-shirts, and she'll pick one for me to wear because it doesn't really matter to me. This one particular day, which was Monday, like you said, Doug, she chose a Detroit Lions shirt. So I put on a Lions shirt, walked her to the corner where she gets picked up by the bus, and we waited for the school bus to show up. Bus shows up, doors open, my daughter gets on. The bus driver, from her bus seat, looks over at me, smiles, and goes, "Go Lions."
There you go.
I have no idea if she's a Lions fan, sports fan, or otherwise. But I've been wearing Lions shirts for 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years, whatever, right? It doesn't matter. No one's ever said anything to me, really.
Ever.
I don't care if they suck, don't suck. This is the team I grew up rooting for, whatever. I criticize them, I cheer them, I praise them. But this was like the first time I can actually remember, unprovoked, "Go Lions" to me just because I was wearing a Lions shirt.
So it's funny because I think Michigan fans give other Michigan fans the "Go Blue." State fans give a lot of "Go Green, Go White." But you've never had anybody say "Go Lions" when you were wearing Lions gear.
Never.
Wow. That's interesting. I mean, I wear Lions gear too, and now that you mention it, I don't think anybody's ever said that to me. I've got a Lions T-shirt. I got several Lions hats.
You're not very approachable, Doug.
Well, the only comment I've ever got is, you know, Lions hat I have with the 2 stripes, the 2 racing stripes with the old school lion crawling through it. I've had people say "Sweet hat," but that's it.
I've gotten the Go Lions.
Have you?
Yeah, I've got the grit hat, and I've got the same. Well, I've got the gray hat with the same sleek line with the racing stripes through it.
Yeah.
I've definitely gotten comments on the hat. I've got one Lions shirt that I wear, and I was on a walk maybe a week ago or so in the neighborhood, and I wasn't wearing any gear. And somebody was walking past me, stopped, we talked, and then as we're leaving, they did say "Go Lions."
Nice.
This is something that's starting to happen. It's starting to happen, Doug.
It feels like we just got an NFL team.
I know, right? like we're an expansion team, you know, and people just realize, oh, we got a football team?
Yeah.
They're not bad?
This is awesome.
I mean, I realize there's a lot of long-term fans out there that have been hardcores forever.
Sure, I've seen other people wearing stuff.
And for you people, it doesn't feel that way. And honestly, you deserve it. You deserve your loyalty. You deserve to have what we hope is a team like this. We hope that this team is as good as we suspect and they have some good luck. But when you start pulling in the fringe fan, that's when it kind of goes next level. And maybe what you got from a bus driver is indicative of pulling in the fringe fan.
You know, across the street, I have a neighbor that moved in a couple years ago, a year and a half ago. And they first moved in, I think it was around fall time, and they had put up a Spartan flag. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. Great. Then the spring came around, and they put up a Detroit Tigers flag. Took the Spartan flag down, Tigers flag went up. Then the fall came around again, and up came the Spartan flag again. And then the Tigers flag. And now this year, I just noticed this the other day. Instead of the Spartan flag, they have a Lions flag up there. It's happening, Doug.
It does feel like it's happening.
It is happening.
This is weird.
This is a Detroit takeover by a Detroit team.
I feel like Blue Curacao sales have skyrocketed this year.
Well, you know what's crazy is we've seen it with Red Wings, Pistons, and Tigers.
Yes.
With the car flags, or you know, the Old English D hats are everywhere. Kang, you're wearing one today. But the fact of the matter is, there's never been in our lifetime. There's been pockets, but this feels from the beginning a high expectation. And a team that went out and lived up to that high expectation right out of the gate. And all this talk, I think there's probably some people rolling their eyes because it's still so early. But, hey, they were supposed to be good, and they look like they're going to be.
You know, I think of the 4 sports, the major sports teams we have here, the professional teams anyway, I feel like if you go into each venue, going into Ford Field has the highest concentration of people wearing Lions gear versus going into LCA and people wearing Red Wing gear or Pistons gear or come here to Comerica Park and see people in Tigers gear. There's tons of people that have all that gear, but I just feel like Lions game day is like you're not allowed to come into the building unless you have Honolulu blue on.
Interesting observation. All right, I promised we get to this draft stuff, and we ran out of time, so I'll do that coming up shortly. Plus, straight ahead, another edition of Are You Going to Eat That? It's a Ford Field edition. It's Carson Anderson, Open Lines, 97.1, The Ticket. Hey, CGC Water wants to celebrate and thank their customers, so come out for the CGC Water's Family Fun Day on Saturday, September 16th from noon until 4 p.m. There'll be food trucks, live music, great prizes, glitter tattoos, face painting, and more for the kids at CGC Water's location, which is 2875 Old US 23 in Heartland. You can check out all the Connecticut water systems that day or ask CGC about their Navien tankless water heater, which we just got installed. Call 855-339-4242 or visit cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, your authorized independent Connecticut dealer.
Missed because of the proximity to where the ball was.
Yes. And also on that play, former Lion punter Sam Martin, very, very lame effort to try to make the tackle. I mean, your buddy Hank Winchester has to be very disappointed in you, Sam. That was really, really lame.
Yeah, it was. You could hear him go, eh. Two-hand touch does not count as being down. So the thing that you got to know, and every punter, every kicker is taught, use the sideline as an extra defender. Mm-hmm. He overplayed it and got beat by a better athlete going back inside, and that's when you hear the
John Jansen with his Sam Martin imitation.
Yes.
Last night, Aaron Rodgers, it was New York, a lot of celebrities there.
Yep.
I'm watching this clip of Aaron Rodgers before the game, and he's dapping it
Doug
up.
Carr, Scott Anderson, 97.1 A Ticket. Okay. 248-539-9797. Great to be with you here on a Thursday. Tiger Baseball this afternoon. Doug Carson in the studios, Gator down at Comerica Park. Feedback coming in. Sean in West Bloomfield says, I fist bumped a random old lady at CVS that was wearing a Lions shirt.
Hey, old lady. Give me a fist bump.
Hey.
Pound.
Knuckles.
Tom in Rochester says, I have had someone say Lions suck when I've been wearing a Lions shirt.
Oh.
That's the old Lions.
Yep. Kenny from Flint says, I wear a lot of Lions shirts and OSU shirts, and up to this year, I got more compliments on my OSU gear than my Lions. We are finally getting the support.
You got more compliments on your OSU shirt than your Lions shirt? We're finally getting support?
And this guy's
We're finally
Flint.
supporting Ohio State?
No, I think
Is
he
that what he's
meant
saying?
finally supporting the Lions and not. He only would get comments on his OSU stuff, never the Lions.
Oh.
He says he gets compliments on his OSU gear, not comments, compliments.
Yeah, like.
Does Flint have a pocket of Buckeye fans? I live in San Antonio. On Monday, I wore my Lions t-shirt out, and 2 different people stopped me to say, how about those Lions? That is in Texas, not Michigan.
All right.
Unnamed texter, I lived in Arizona and Florida as well. I've lived in Arizona and Florida as well and get positive reactions when I wear the gear. Lions fans really are everywhere. It's just easier for people outside of diehards to actually admit it. Mike in Novi says, I wore a Lions hat on Sunday. The same thing happened to me at least 7 times. Go Lions was said. I felt like it was a college team, and it was kind of weird, but it's a sign that things are changing.
Is this what it's like to live in Pittsburgh or Green Bay, guys?
I wondered a little bit about that. I mean, they played one game, right? And we are certainly getting carried away. Let me acknowledge that. But please forgive us. Have we had this opportunity? Team's supposed to be good and actually went to beat the defending Super Bowl champs in their barn. Yeah, forgive us if we get a little carried away. We're not used to it. We don't know what to do with our hands.
We don't know what to do with our hands. And if this team were to win, half as much as those 2 franchises have when it comes to the big game, this town will be insufferable to other fan bases. And it'll be fantastic to be part of that.
248-539-9797. Mark is next on 97.1. Hi, Mark.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Okay.
All right, Mark.
Good. Hey, love listening to you guys. I live in downtown Detroit, right behind Comerica and Ford Field. I wanted to comment Thursday, the night of this Thursday night game between the Lions and the Chiefs. We were in California, of all places, my wife's work conference. And the Friday, I went to breakfast with them. I had my Sanders jersey and Lions cap on. I was getting high fives, hugs. There was people taking pictures with me that wanted to show people back home, like from all over the country. Yeah, I'm telling you, it was crazy. My wife's like, "What's going on?" It was like I was a celebrity. It was awesome.
Hilarious. Hilarious, Mark.
Yeah. It was great.
And that didn't happen before, huh?
Oh, no. Are you kidding? The only time – are you kidding? They're like, every time I wear my line stuff, they're like, oh, another year, eh? You're going to keep trying? I go, listen, you just got to believe, man. You got to believe. You believe in the new regime.
Well,
I keep telling everybody, Sheila Ford's not like everyone else. She's different. She wants to win. I love it.
Feels like there's some good stuff happening for sure.
Absolutely. And I do think she's different.
All right. Let's talk some food. Gator, I think I should thank the Free Press that had the list of the new concessions that will be available at Ford Field this year. So this is a Lions edition of Are You Going to Eat That? Are you ready, my friend?
I am ready, and I'm going to be there Sunday, so this could be interesting.
Yeah, so I don't like some of the stuff obviously you would eat, and so some of it I'm not so sure, but here we go. One of the offerings will be the King of the North burger. A lot goes into this burger. There's a beef patty, Chicago style.
That's a good start.
Chicago style Italian beef, seared Spam slices, cheese curds, grilled onions on a brioche bun. There's a lot going on there, Gator. The King of the North burger. Are you going to eat that?
My initial reaction is that's just too much, all this. And then I go back to my first year at Michigan State, and we lived right behind the Harrison Roadhouse. And the Harrison Roadhouse had a sandwich called the Holy Harrison. It was a burger. And that burger had a beef patty. It had stacked ham on top of it, cheese, and the rest of it was just massive, right? And it came with this amazing sauce, and it was totally worth it. This, however, this burger, I feel like it's going a little too far. If it were just the Italian beef along with the burger, and then the rest of the stuff is fine, but you're adding the Spam to it, I've got nothing against Spam. But it's a third protein element that I don't need to see on a burger. I'm not going to eat that.
Kang, does it sound like something you'd eat?
Gator and I feel the same about just overdoing the burger stuff. I mean, if someone offered me a bite for free, sure, but I'm not going to go order that. It's just way too much. Yeah, it's just way too much going on in there. I usually enjoy just a few things on my burger. That's a lot of protein.
I was enticed by the brioche bun.
You love the brioche bun, but you're a bread guy.
Bun.
You love bread.
I love bread, yeah. And then plus, I don't think that bread's going to stand up to all that beef.
I think I'd eat it. No. All right, next up. Gator, they offer a crunch wrap.
Okay.
A vegan crunch wrap.
Oh.
This is a large flour tortilla. It features soy chorizo, vegan cheese, refried beans, and salsa verde. Gator, the vegan crunch wrap. Are you going to eat that?
Absolutely not.
Really?
There's no point. There's just no point. I don't want vegan. I want real cheese. I want real protein when it comes to like a meat protein, not a plant-based. Don't give me that crap.
Well, you know me. I'll have two of them because twice on Sundays.
Oh, my God.
I'll take the vegan crunch wrap. Kang, what about you?
Oh, hell to the no, man. More for you, Doug.
Yeah. All right, next up. They have something called the On the Roll Next Level Egg Rolls. This is a corned beef egg roll, crispy fried egg roll wrappers. They're filled with smoky corned beef, Gouda, and Swiss cheeses. There's also a vegetarian option with Beyond Meat. Gator, the corned beef egg roll. Are you going to eat that?
Hell yes, I'm going to eat that. That's going to be fantastic. I hope it comes with like a Thousand Island dipping sauce of some kind. It could just be yellow mustard. It's going to be spectacular. That is awesome. There you go, Evan.
Kang, what about you?
Man, I love me some corned beef egg rolls.
Okay.
Yeah, can we get those in 6-packs, 10-packs?
Yeah.
How they come?
Well, I'd help you.
Don't give me just two.
We can throw in a couple vegan, the Beyond Meat ones, and that works for me.
No. What?
The Impossible Meat's better than the Beyond Meat, in my experience so far.
Oh, is that right? We'll take your word for it.
Yeah. Next up, the 90th season Ultimate Bloody Mary, available at Ford Field. This is Bloody Mary is topped with.
Here we go. Let's count them out. Go ahead.
Yeah.
A slider.
Yep. 1.
Cheese curds.
2.
Garnished with celery, olives,
3,
cheese.
4, 5.
Peppercini and a meat
6,
stick.
7.
Used like a straw and served with a shot of beer. Dude, it's got a slider.
Why?
Are you going to eat that?
I mean, look, if you wanted to serve it on the side, why throw it on in a skewer ready to touch the deliciousness of what is a Bloody Mary or Bloody Maria, however you want to have it? I don't understand that. I don't understand throwing, everything in the refrigerator on top of a drink just because, I have a skewer. Hey, I got an idea. Let's come up with a meat straw. That sounds disgusting. A meat straw. Come on,
there's a
people.
slider on top of this thing.
I know it doesn't belong there. Now I can easily. Obviously take the slider off, okay, and then you still have 6 other ingredients that are floating around in your Bloody Mary. You get a garnish is one thing. What they've gone is thrown on a 3-course meal on top of it. That's too much.
Kang?
Stupid.
I'm waiting for someone to put a rotisserie chicken on there, man.
Right.
This is it. I mean, honestly, right, Gator? A charcuterie board, the whole everything.
Right.
Yeah, this is way too much. I want the drink. If I want to order apps, I'll order apps, right?
Yes.
Well,
exactly.
So you guys pass.
Yeah, I'll pass. Now, if you had said that they had skewered a couple of those corned beef egg rolls in there, they might be different if it's just that. But there's so much going in there.
I love the Bloody Mary,
Evan loves
and I
Bloody
just give away the slider and the meat stick, and I'll drink this.
Would you drink it through the meat stick?
No.
Oh, come on!
Why not?
Because I don't want to.
Well,
That's why.
You're not chewing the meat stick.
Yeah, I have no interest. It's
You're not swallowing the meat stick.
like a chicken sandwich that comes with bacon on it. You ask for no bacon and they forget, so you take the bacon off. You can still taste the bacon. It's all greasy on there and everything.
Tastes
But the taste is fine. It's what it does to your system is the problem,
but
right?
I don't like the taste anymore either.
You like turkey bacon?
I do.
Is there a different taste with turkey bacon?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
there
sir.
is. Isn't
You
there?
like tofurkey?
No. All right, next up, they have something called the Coca-Cola pulled pork nachos. This is a crispy tortilla chip loaded with Coca-Cola infused pulled pork, creamy nacho cheese. The nacho is served topped with a tangy Coca-Cola barbecue sauce, sour cream, and green onions. Gator, the Coca-Cola infused nachos.
When you're starting off with a nacho concept, you've already got me. I'm intrigued. I'm probably 90% there. The fact that it's using like pulled pork or pulled beef, whatever it is, it's fantastic. And now people have, over the last 10, 15 years, have decided that Coca-Cola is a great product, or any kind of cola, Pepsi, whatever you want to use, is great for helping to break down those proteins, add some sweetness to it. Dr. Pepper's been a big one as of late that's getting some love. I'm all about this. This sounds fantastic. Pulled pork on a nacho is a great alternative to the shredded chicken or the ground beef. I'm here for it all.
Kang?
It's a nacho. They should be using Mexican Coke, to make it even more authentic. All right, but yeah, I'm all over this too. I love it.
I would try it if they did it in chicken. It sounds intriguing, but it's, I guess, just pulled pork. All right, finally, Gator, and this comes with a question.
Doug's always left out.
I know. It's okay.
And they got to use Coke Zero.
I'm not.
Right.
There's no judgment here. I just,
Coke Zero.
Here we go. Each home game, they'll have a different loaded French fry that reflects ingredients inspired by the opposing team.
Here we go.
No announcement as to what it's going to be this week. I want to talk about this next. And I want to talk about the schedule. This is a loaded French fry where whatever goes on top, a different ingredient on top, inspired by the opposing team. So I want you to think about that.
Yeah. I'm thinking right now. Do I need to answer this right now? What I think it's going to be with Seattle?
No, you don't. But let's get to that coming up at 11:48 and work our way through the schedule. We'll get to this draft thing. Where are the Lions drafting? Who are they getting? And wait till you see where the Jets draft. That coming up before the end of the show. It's Carson Anderson, 97.1.
Add curb appeal, value, and beauty to your home with new Therma-Tru entry doors from Builder's First Source, the experts in door installation. Now, Therma-Tru doors, that's the brand preferred by building professionals. They offer durable, energy-efficient doors in a variety of beautiful styles. Then have your new Therma-Tru door installed properly the first time with the expert installation team from Builder's First Source. You can find their 2 Metro Detroit locations in Shelby Townships at buildersfirstsource.com.
Minutes before.
Yeah, who knows, right? Timberlake's on the field in like sunglasses, a hat, dress casual. They dap it up together. Hey, man, good luck tonight, whatever. Thanks for coming. Rodgers turns around to go to the tunnel, and Timberlake pats him on the butt. Now, my question is, since he's in full uniform, is that just a thing? Could Rodgers turn around and tap Timberlake on the butt even though he's in casual clothes?
No, you have to be playing a sport in uniform.
Okay.
Yep.
But if you're in uniform, it's like, hey, that's just part of the good luck out there?
Yeah, I think that's when it's appropriate.
That about sums it up if you're a Jet fan. Good God. We're going to make this localized because I'm not coming on the air and going to ask you to feel bad for Jet fans. Nobody feels bad for Jet fans. Jet fans are the scourge of the earth. But I thought about the Jets and the Lions are kind of tied at the hip this year. They are. They're attached at the hip. The two most hyped teams in all of football. The Jets for the acquisition of Aaron Rodgers. Could he finally lift the curse? Could he finally deliver him to the promised land? And then the Leo.
So, Gator, you're more of the food connoisseur than I. Probably you are too, Kang. I have kind of a limited menu.
Kang is definitely.
But I'm gonna try. Okay. So the Lions have this loaded fry that you'll be able to get at Ford Field this year. But each week it's going to change, and whatever's put on it is going to reflect the opponent they're playing. So they play the Seahawks this coming Sunday. So I'm going to go with some sort of chicken or turkey on top of a loaded fry. Yeah, that's what I'm going with.
You think that's what it'll be?
Yep, that's what I'm hoping.
I couldn't tell you how I think you're way off on the protein.
Okay, what do you got?
Salmon. And I think it's disgusting, and I wouldn't go near it.
Would they actually do that, Gator?
What else could they? I mean, Doug's saying chicken or turkey.
Well, because that's all he can eat.
When you think of Seattle, do you think of chicken or turkey?
Sea chickens?
Thank you. Thank you.
I mean, unless they do some sort of like coffee spice.
Yeah,
on
I was
there.
gonna think that something like that. Coffee blend, coffee inspired.
Otherwise, it just screams it'd be some sort of fish. With fries, I don't know, maybe deep fried chunks of, I don't know. It sounds like it's going to be an awful, like the worst decision ever would be to emulate something on top of French fries from Seattle.
All right, next up is Atlanta. I'm going to go with some kind of chicken or turkey.
I see a pattern here. Atlanta, I would imagine. So you're talking down south. I could see some kind of like Southern fried chicken type thing.
I'm going lemon pepper fries.
Okay, I like that. I like that idea.
The lemon pepper chicken wings.
Yeah, but they're talking about loaded, so it's going to be more than just the spiced up fry. It's more than a seasoned fry, right? So you got to have something else that's on top of it. Maybe it's going to. Oh, how about this? Like biscuits and gravy. Like sausage gravy.
Maybe could you put some kind of peaches on fries? Could it be a sweet fry?
Could be. I'm gonna say it's gonna be like a sausage gravy on top of those, and I'd be all about it.
All right, next up, Carolina is the next game, and again for the loaded fry that reflects the opponent. I'm gonna go with some sort of chicken or turkey.
This one I could see like pulled chicken on there, pulled chicken or pulled pork, and then you have the Carolina style barbecue sauce on top of it to load it up.
Yeah, it's got to be some kind of barbecue. And it's the Carolina, like you said, Carolina barbecue sauce, because every region has their own type of barbecue sauce.
All right, next up is the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm going to go with some sort of chicken or turkey.
Oh, boy. Vegas is very extravagant. I don't know. This could just be like the whole kitchen sink on top there. Like this might be.
I'm not quite sure what they do.
Yeah, I don't know, like scallions with some sort of
Vegas
cheese
known
sauce.
For? Vegas basically
bacon.
takes everything from everybody else and makes it better.
Exactly. Kang, what do you think beyond Vegas?
It's going to taste like regret and despair. A little bit of hungoverness.
Yeah.
All right, next up, the Bears.
The Bears.
I'm going to go with
here we go.
some sort of chicken or turkey, Gator. What do you think for Chicago?
I think this is going to be
dogs?
like Chicago beef. No, not dogs. It'll be like the Chicago beef.
Italian beef with hot peppers.
And some cheese sauce on top of that.
The easiest one might be next, Green Bay. It's going to be some kind of Wisconsin cheese.
Yeah, cheese curds.
I think some kind of turkey or chicken.
The following one, Denver. Bits of real horse.
Wow. Wow, I hope that's not the case.
No.
Cannabis-infused loaded fries.
Could be.
Yeah, I like imitation horse so much better.
Yeah.
Cannabis-infused fries. I don't know. What's that? Is it like some kind of chili, maybe?
Denver known for their chili?
I don't know. It's more of a New Mexico thing, but I'm just trying to think what's out in the West there. You start to get, I don't know. Some kind of maybe buffalo meat?
Cure Duchesne, please, on Twitch says, what about a play on the Denver omelet, maybe?
Oh, or the Western omelet? Yeah, same thing. What do you got there? Is that green pepper and ham and cheese? Yeah. That sounds delicious.
Any thoughts, Kanger?
Yeah, I think it's cannabis.
All right. We'll go to Minnesota, the final week.
Weed.
Yeah. What is it going to be in week 18?
Minnesota.
Lake water?
I think that could be some sort of. It's gonna be. I think all these are gonna be very similar, like some sort of protein that's topped with cheese. I think they could use cheese curds there too. They like that in Minnesota.
They do.
What about? Did Minnesota come up with Juicy Lucy, Kang?
Yes, they did.
Okay, so some sort of maybe ground beef with a cheese sauce.
Like stuff, but it's stuffed. That's how the burger. The Juicy Lucy is a stuffed burger, cheese, right?
Yeah.
Cheese stuffed.
Peanut BD on Twitch says moose.
Yeah,
maybe real dips of Skull tobacco. I don't know.
All right. It's going to take some creativity for the Lions to figure out what to do.
I didn't think about that. So it's the Scandinavian influence. So it's like gravlax. Or pickled herring.
Sounds great.
Sounds delicious, doesn't it?
Yeah, right. All right, so Gator, the CBS came out with a mock draft. Now, I don't really particularly care about it, but there's some interesting things to look for, right? Here in the early
mock
going.
draft in the NFL already?
Yes.
Wow.
They come up with one every week. Yeah.
After 1 week, here we go.
So where do you think they have the Jets picking?
I think they would have the Jets picking in the top 3. I'll go 3rd.
They got the Jets picking 14th.
Wow.
Yep.
What?
Yep.
Think their defense is going to be that good, huh?
Where do you think they have the Lions picking?
I would think they would have the Lions picking like 24th.
They have them picking 23rd. I think 23rd and 24th, 19, 20, 21, 22, 3, are first-round playoff losers. So that would be a little bit disappointing.
That would be very disappointing.
And they have the Lions selecting Emeka Egbuka, wide receiver, Ohio State.
So who's putting this out? Is this a Prisco thing?
I don't know who did it on CBS Sports, but I can
That's
look
where
it up.
Prisco's at, right?
What do you mean?
We already talked about Prisco earlier. He had the Lions at what, 9?
Yes, in his ranking. So you're talking about where Prisco's at as far as where they're drafting,
right.
not the Egbuka pick.
No respect at all.
Coming from CBS.
That's right.
The number 1 pick is Caleb Williams to Arizona. Number 2, Marvin Harrison Jr. to the Colts. Number 3, the Giants.
Wide receiver at 2?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, how about 3? The Giants. The Giants take Brock Bowers, tight end.
Well, the Giants are screwed. They put all the money in on the quarterback. They're ruined.
Yeah.
Arizona did the same thing, but at least they did it a couple years ago.
The Giants just traded for a third-round pick for Darren Waller.
They just got Darren Waller. I don't know if that makes a ton of sense.
It doesn't make a ton of sense, but it's CBS. What are you going to do?
Local picks of interest. J.J. McCarthy goes 10th to Seattle, and Keon Coleman goes to Tennessee at 13.
So how many quarterbacks go in the top 10?
I'm going to have to find the draft to answer said question.
Oh, sorry. I thought
it's okay. I just made some notes from it, but
I would imagine Caleb Williams, Drake May are probably in the top 10. If you've got J.J. McCarthy at 10, is Penix in there? Is Quinn Ewers in there?
Quinn Ewers is in the first round. I remember seeing him. I think he goes to New England. Should be interesting because it would mean the end of Mac Jones, I guess.
I don't know. New England just keeps collecting young quarterbacks and not doing anything with them.
Kinda.
They just pick. They just did it again. They didn't get Ian Book. Didn't they just sign him?
Yeah, I think he's on the
yesterday?
practice squad or something.
Yeah.
Matt Corral, Ian Book, Zappy.
Bailey Zappi, and they just keep cycling new ones.
Well, didn't they cut everybody first?
Yes.
Yes, and then they start bringing them back and releasing them again.
Belichick's drunk.
It's like fishing in a stocked pond. You just keep casting them back.
I guess. I'll have to find the whole mock and let you know on some of those other questions you had. Now, we'll do so coming up. Also, next hour, we're giving away some Lions tickets. Stay tuned. We'll let you know how you can win. At 12:02, we're giving away at 12:26. Tiger Baseball this afternoon. It's Carson Anderson, 97.1, The Ticket. Hey, get ready for the NFL season. With incredible offers from FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, right now new customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed. Plus, all customers who bet $5 will get $100 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube. App is easy to use. You can bet on everything from spreads to player props and more. So visit FanDuel.com/Doug. That's FanDuel.com/Doug. And kick off the NFL season with an offer you don't want to miss. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL. Must be 21 or older and present in Michigan. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problems? Call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help. NFL Sunday Ticket offer ends September 18th. No refunds. Terms and embargoes apply. $100 off Sunday Ticket, not YouTube TV, which requires base plan to watch YouTube TV. Redemption requires a Google account and current form of payment. Commercial use excluded. Subscriptions renew. Cancel anytime.
#1 team bet to make the Super Bowl. #1 team to have Coach of the Year. The hype team, the it team. Hard knock siblings, Jets and Lions. And I thought about our opening night. Marching to Arrowhead, winning a thriller, gritty, gutty, ecstasy, the whole bit. And then you watch last night. There were more tickets for that game last night than when the Super Bowl was at MetLife Stadium.
Seriously?
Seriously. Jet fans were ready to roll. This was their time, their year, their opener against a divisional rival and Super Bowl team in the Bills. And their year lasted 4 plays. 4. Aaron Rodgers, dead. Achilles, dead. Zach Wilson, confused look on face, dead. No matter win or lose last night, their season is over.
There's a lot out there. There's a lot that this team needs to answer to. Like I said, we know that they have the personnel to win, but are they ready to be winners? Well, just Anderson. I'm in the 97.1 studios. And Gators down there, though. And we got Tiger Baseball coming up this afternoon. Just to let you know, we will give away some Detroit Lions tickets. Pair of tickets to the Miller Lite Tap Room Lions home opener, Seattle, Sunday. First one with the correct answer to a quiz question. The answer will be something that was said on this program, and that will be at 12:26. And the question could be something like, where is Gator today and where's Doug? And the correct answer would be Gator's at Comerica Park, and Doug is at the 97.1 Studios. That's how easy it'll be. But the first one with the correct answer to whatever the question is today at 12:26, you get a pair of tickets to see the Lions in Seattle on Sunday. This is incredibly valuable, so go for it. In the meantime, if you don't win, stop by Buffalo Wild Wings in Woodhaven tonight for the Thursday football feast from 6 to 10 and another chance to win, courtesy of Miller Lite and Buffalo Wild Wings. Yes, sir.
Doug, I couldn't help but hear in the update that the Motor City Drive, they're having their tryouts. Are you bringing that drop step over there or no?
I am not, although when are the tryouts? Did you hear when?
I missed when. I thought it was real like this weekend.
Wasn't Jansen going to try out a couple years ago?
I think it was a lot of talk.
Yeah.
But that's John.
What? Wow. Wow.
Well, that's what TJ says.
Yeah. They've got quite the rivalry, those two.
Yeah.
Did you hear the morning show one morning? TJ pulled into the parking lot. And I don't know. I don't know. I heard this, I think, on a rewind one day. TJ pulls into the parking lot and parks next to John, and Milliken gets on there. He goes, look at that. John's got that big black pickup truck. He backs it into the spot. TJ's pickup truck's just a little bit smaller. It's white. He goes, this really reflects the guard-tackle relationship, doesn't it? I was like, wow.
Did TJ back it in too?
TJ backed it in, yeah. But John's pickup truck was kind of outside, and TJ's was inside.
Well, listen, as a tackle, you can line that pickup truck back a little bit if you want.
That's right. As we learned.
You don't have to be set up just evenly. I mean, the guard has to be, but the tackle, you can be a slot receiver, apparently.
Yeah. You had a question on your show sheet. Do Lions fans want to see more running or passing on Sunday? And I thought, I bet Lions fans just want to win. They don't care how. If you're in the NFL, I don't know, you can afford to just decide we're going to do one or the other unless it's specific to a game plan, specific to a defense. The Seahawks gave up 334 yards through the air.
Yep.
To Matt Stafford. Really good quarterback still, but a depleted group of wide receivers. I think our really good quarterback and our wide receivers, who probably are on par with what the Rams paraded out there last week, I think they should be able to throw the ball. Now, clearly, Seattle's going to try and improve upon the Week 1 performance. And clearly, they've got stuff to look at on tape to try and get better. But can the Lions have a similar day to what Stafford and the Rams did is what I'm thinking will probably be the case.
I think that absolutely that winning is all that matters. But at some point, you know how Lions fans get. They like the style points, and they want to see one over the other, and it's a passing league, and they'd like to see Goff lighted up for well over 300 yards in a game. And they're also going to want in the same game to see Jahmyr Gibbs run for 120. That's just how it is.
This is the secondary that Seattle had. This is their starting secondary. Trey Brown at left corner, Jamal Adams at strong safety, Condre Diggs at free safety, Tariq Woolen at the right corner, and first-round pick Devin Witherspoon at the nickel position. And they got shredded. Now, I didn't watch the game, admittedly. Did Stafford have all day?
I'm not sure if he had all. The clips that I saw when I was watching on Red Zone, he was Nakua or Pakua, I forget what the receiver's name is, was just lighting him up. I mean, he was always open. And Stafford took advantage of it, just kept hitting them. I think there were two receivers that Stafford just gravitated towards, and they took advantage of it. But he's a great quarterback. I mean, he really is. We've known this all along. The guy can throw, and to your point, I mean, did he have all day to throw? He must have, because if he's got all day to throw, he'll kill you. But that's surprising against a secondary that has those names on it. I mean, Tariq Woolen is proved last year he was a hell of a rookie in the league, and Witherspoon's a guy that we were expecting the Lions to draft if he was available at 6, and he wasn't. Seattle took him just ahead of us. So I'm a little surprised by that.
Yeah, Nacua really tore him up on shorter routes, and then Tutu Atwell was the guy Stafford would go through a little deeper or more air yards, and then they would get close enough where the running game wasn't that great, but they would punch it in. All their touchdowns were rushing touchdowns, or the 3 touchdowns I had were rushing touchdowns. Stafford over 300 yards. I don't know. I didn't watch the entire game like you, Gator, but I saw enough of it where, honestly, Stafford looked pretty healthy for being, I think he might be the oldest. Yeah, he's the oldest quarterback in the league right now that Rodgers is out. Pretty crazy, but he's still doing it.
Yeah, when you're watching on Red Zone, and this is a sign that some teams just aren't showing up. When the only highlights you're seeing are from the Rams, and then you're seeing nothing but Green Bay highlights, you realize that Seattle and the Bears may not be all that good. And for Seattle, that's tough to swallow because that was a playoff team last year.
Does
but
the 3-7
good news for the Lions.
Do you think the 3-7 in the last 10 matters? Does what happened at the end of last year, going 3-6 down the stretch, does that matter?
I think it does matter because I think it shows the teams adjusted to what Seattle was doing. Because to start the season, Seattle they were gangbusters. Geno Smith had a bunch of games with a quarterback rating over 100, and then down those last 9 or 10 games, I think he only had 1 or 2 games where he was above 100 or even above 90. They figured him out. They figured out what that offense was about, and you go into the offseason, I'm not sure if they really added anything to the offense. So I think it does matter.
Now, to be fair to that secondary, Witherspoon didn't play in week 1, but it's still a pretty good group and pretty surprising to see them give up that many yards passing. I'm gonna maybe take back that the Lions should have a big passing day because maybe they will. Maybe they will, and it turns out that Seattle's secondary has problems. But
Seattle's offensive line has problems. They're without 2 of their offensive tackles, their starting tackles. So, does that play a role in it that they were just like 3 and out, and then the Rams just kept coming onto the field and didn't get off the field?
So one of them is officially out. The other one's listed currently as questionable, but we'll have to wait and see what happens as we get closer to the game. Hey man, I don't feel bad for anybody else. After everything we've been through, I don't care. I do not care, nor should we.
Yeah, because here it is, second week in the season. Still no Jameson Williams. He's suspended. Emmanuel Mosley didn't practice because now he's got a hamstring issue he's dealing with. So, in my head, I'm not counting on him to play on Sunday again. And that's playing without 2 really good players, impactful players. And then you've got a banged-up Taylor Decker. We'll see if he plays. I imagine he does. But he's nowhere near 100%. You got Ragnow who's dealing with this constant injury with his toe, and Lions have plenty of issues they're dealing with, just like every team in the NFL does. This is not a league for the timid or the weak.
Geno Smith too was such a cool story a year ago. A guy in his early 30s, suddenly the light went on, and he had a really, really good year, and came back, went 16-26 in the opener for just 112 yards, 1 touchdown, no picks. And, what
do you run for?
Give me one moment.
Because that's what's dangerous for him. At least it was one of the things that made him dangerous last year against the Lions. He just took off and went.
1 carry, 6 yards.
Yeah.
What was that?
Honestly, 16 completions in a game and 1 carry tells me teams have figured out what that Seattle offense is about. Now, Seattle's got weapons, to be sure. Right? They got Kenneth Walker at running back. He's a weapon. They've got Metcalf at receiver. They've got another receiver that's very good over there. They've got some weapons there. But if you're only completing 16 passes and then your quarterback only takes off and goes 1 time, that's really limited.
They only ran 46 plays from scrimmage. They were not getting first downs. They were not staying on the field. That was a disastrous opener for Seattle, and they're kind of already backed into a corner and probably going to come out fighting.
Yeah, and I know Kenneth Walker had a little bit of a groin issue going into the game, so he's not 100%. And when the team only runs the ball, 20 times in the game, that's going to be a problem. But then that plays to the Lions' strength because the Lions' weakness, at least what we perceive it to be, is stopping the run.
All right, somebody said something kind of out there about Aaron Rodgers. I want to know if you agree with him. We'll get to that today at 12:18. We're giving away Lions tickets at 12:26 with a Carson Anderson quiz question. 97.1, The Ticket. Clear your schedules for an action-packed weekend at Twin Peaks. Starts with Thursday Night Football tonight at 8:15. The action continues as the Spartans and Wolverines play this weekend. Plus, there's Showtime Boxing this weekend featuring Pedroza and Cardenas at 9:30 on Saturday. Talk about a great time to watch it all and a great place to watch it all. It's Twin Peaks. Well, what truly makes them great is their Scratch Kitchen. Full bar featuring high-end bourbons and tequilas, craft cocktails, that 29-degree draft beer that you can't get anywhere else, and the great Twin Peaks girls. Check out the atmosphere this weekend and see for yourself. To find a location nearest you, go to TwinPeaksRestaurant.com. If you're a fan of Twin Peaks, sign up for the E-Club and stay up to date on all things Twin Peaks and score free stuff. Signing up is easy. Just go to TwinPeaksRestaurant.com/Peaks-Club to get started today. And again, to find the location nearest you, go to TwinPeaksRestaurant.com. In week one, I don't think that's a true representation of who they are, though it may be. We'll find out over the course of time. I tend to believe in the Wojo up-down theory, which I don't. It doesn't make sense to me that that's a thing, but it's a thing. It is a thing.
I think it's a thing for non-Super Bowl contending teams. That's what I think.
So the bulk of the teams in the middle, it's a thing for, but
Yes.
the elites and the terrible ones, it's not a thing for.
Correct.
It might
I
be.
think if you're a bad team, you're a bad team. And if you're a great team, you're a great team.
Yeah.
And if you're contending, anything can happen because it's the NFL and parity is there in the NFL.
Yep.
Yeah, I woke up to 56 text messages, and I'm going, all right, who's dead? And then you realize it's our head coach. So let's just get into it. And I can throw the number out. You know the number, 248-539-9797. Public service announcement. Mel Tucker might be the dumbest human being to ever walk the face of the earth. He's a character out of Idiocracy. When you read the story out of USA Today, to say there was a lack of judgment would say there was a degree of judgment at all. The pure idiocy of Mel Tucker.
Yeah. And 20 billion women in the world.
Yeah. It just, again, and I don't want to go over every granular detail. You heard it in the mornings. You heard it in the middays. The bottom line is this. We are so far past even having to battle anyone defending him. There is no defense. His defense of consensual doesn't even play because he violated the morality clause in his contract.
Right.
It is so reassuring. Once I found out that MSU had done everything right by the letter of the law, I then was able to move towards where I'm at today, which I got to be honest, I don't know if people will understand this. I don't know if they will care. Rico, I don't know if you will. I just feel relieved because I am a big believer when people show you who they really are, instead of getting angry, say thank you.
All right. Just want a little call to action here, Gator.
Yeah.
For our listening audience. Two things. One is just a heads up, Michigan State fans, you got to get Peacock. You've been peacocked this week, and you got to get Peacock to watch the Michigan State-Washington game. Although, did you say that ordering it's kind of easy?
I will tell you that I found it to be incredibly easy, and that was, I just if you have Xfinity, I just set into the remote Peacock. It comes up, and then it walks you right through the process. Like it's basically click this button if you want to be charged the $3.99 a month, and you can cancel at any time. And that's all you do. You go ahead, press the button, and boom. You don't have to get onto your computer and log into it or anything like that. It's just right there.
Doesn't need a password.
Really
I know
simple.
you hate passwords.
I hate passwords. As far as I know, it doesn't need a password.
Okay, and $3.99 a month.
I think that's what it was.
It's not terrible, but it feels
Well,
like it feels like the game is being put on a pay-per-view situation.
Right, which is the part that bothers me. But of course, you think about it. Would I spend $4 to watch a single game? Of course I would. You know, when it comes to my team, do I want to watch Michigan State and Washington if I'm not going to the game? Of course I would. So $4 isn't much to spend in the grand scheme of things, but it's just the principle that we have to, because this is where, you know, sports viewing is going more and more, and I hate that part of it. That's the part that annoys me.
So the other thing, and we should keep mentioning this, and we say every day at the end of the show, and it's not a throwaway line. It started during COVID, and it started during people getting mad during COVID. When we say treat each other with respect, the Lions are going to host a game this coming Sunday. Every weekend in the NFL, viral videos emerge of fights in the stands.
Yeah.
People, remember that you have to go to work the next day. Remember that you have family, fathers, mothers, grandparents, kids that are watching your every movement. Just walk away. Just walk away. Calmly, if you get into a situation, whether it be a Seattle fan or just another fan that's being belligerent or whatever, remove yourself from the situation, take a deep breath, and you won't regret it. You will not regret walking away. You could regret trying to take it into your own hands. And this is a message that I wish didn't need to be given, but I saw some stuff over the weekend. There was at the Commanders game that was really bad. I mean, it was a bad fight where a bunch of people. I mean, these are people that go to a football game. They're going to have a nice afternoon, and they're going to end up in court.
Yeah, so it was watching with a Baltimore fan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was not pretty.
So just remember to walk away. And if you need to go contact someone in security, go for it. But just take a deep breath, see the big picture, and walk away. There's not regret with walking away. You might have to swallow some pride or whatever, if that's a thing for you. Might be disrespectful, but you won't regret it. So just that public service announcement before we host our game. Okay. So Dan Orlovsky on ESPN says he thinks that Aaron Rodgers will come back better than ever, which I'm thinking, wow. We don't do a whole lot of, can you believe what so-and-so said? Because they're entitled to their opinions. This seems like a bit of a stretch that a guy at his age with a torn Achilles can come back better than ever.
Yeah, I think it's a monster stretch to say that. And it's not just coming back from an Achilles. It's a guy who's going to be 40 when he comes back from his Achilles. And then to expect him to be right back at it, which, by the way, is still playing on a team that has a terrible offensive line, unless I imagine they'll try to address it in the offseason. But it's I think it's far-fetched. Can he come back and still be good? He can be, but he was limited going into this season, right? He had the calf injury all last year, and I know people say this, and I think we're saying this before the game on Monday night. They were saying how Aaron Rodgers says he's, quote, in the best shape of his life, feels like he did in his 20s. You may feel that way, but the reality is you're still 39 years old, dude. And I mean, honestly, right?
Right, yeah.
We can get up in the morning, I feel great, I haven't felt this great in years. But the reality is you are your age. So even though you say you feel it, your body's going to tell you differently. And to try to come back from an injury like a torn Achilles is not an easy road. And I'm very skeptical that he would come back and be anywhere near what he was when he was an MVP a couple years ago.
I think a lot of people are looking at the time, and Aaron Rodgers included, looking at Tom Brady, who played to his, 44, 45, and saying, I can do that. And
but you can.
It's a worthy goal. Okay, go for it. But you just suffered one of the toughest injuries to come back from. Now, he wasn't a guy that was a big-time runner, but he was mobile enough. And if you start taking that away, I do remember the end of Peyton Manning's career. He started to get that hunched back old man look. Steve Eisman did it too at the end, where you're just like, God, he kind of just looks like an old man out there playing, right? And that might be Aaron Rodgers.
I would never say that about Steve Eisman.
At the end?
No, but I know what you're saying. I mean, yeah, look, Peyton Manning went over to Denver after he had his neck fused, for crying out loud, right?
Yeah.
And he had an amazing year that year.
He did.
Had an amazing year statistically, and then they get to the Super Bowl. Was it against Seattle? And they got embarrassed?
Yeah.
They got just jumped by Seattle. And then he comes back and plays, and he was just okay playing for Denver, but they were good enough to win a Super Bowl, right?
Yes.
It was a wonderful end to his career, and it was done for him at like 39.
248.
You know, I'm sorry, but not many guys go past their 40s in the National Football League. You know, I know people harken back to John Hadle, right, or something like that, and go back to quarterbacks that played in the 70s, or George Blanda, you know, who kicked till he was 94 years old. Don't bring those names up, because when you do, you realize how rare it is for somebody to do what Tom Brady did, and that was just play into his 40s, let alone play as well as he did. It just doesn't happen, and I don't think Aaron Rodgers is of that ilk. And we started to see it. His body started to break down. Brady's body really didn't start to break down. He had one major injury in his career.
It's an exception, not a rule, and guys are going to set that as a goal, and it's fine. But I have my doubts that he'll be able to come back better than ever. Let's go to Kevin. You're on 97.1 The Ticket. Hi, Kevin.
Hey, thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
Sure, Kev.
I was going to say this, but you guys were talking about it. With Aaron Rodgers, I think the biggest thing is just if he's got a better offensive line, then maybe he'd come back. But that's just, obviously, he's still old. But what I called in for is, I'm a season ticket holder, and I went to the Philly game last year. And you guys obviously know Philly fans have a really big reputation for that they all live up to. But the thing was, at the end of the game, I remember seeing on the news, I didn't see any fights, but it wasn't Philly fans fighting Detroit fans. It was Detroit Lions fans fighting Detroit Lions fans. And so I think I'm not worried about it. But I just think the common denominator in all of it is it doesn't matter what team you're cheering for. It's just the alcohol that goes into it.
Absolutely.
Yep.
100%.
But yeah, the whole ski mask thing, I mean, yeah, you know, it is what it is. Like I'm really excited for the game, but it's just like, I mean, I don't know.
I hope we're not going to regret that. I really hope we're not going to regret the ski mask thing. I think the idea of donning the ski mask when there's a turnover to let everybody in the stadium feel like they're part of a turnover chain type thing.
Yep.
I think that's kind of cool.
I agree.
But I think there's more bad than good that can come out of this.
I guess. I just don't know.
I'm nervous. I'm really nervous about it.
I feel like the black hole with the Raiders got more praise than criticism, and I don't know how it's that different. Because they're dressing up in all kinds of wild outfits, including somebody who was known for pillage and plunder and rape, and
right.
Yeah, and so
right, yeah,
but that gets more praise, and I will feed into a Detroit stereotype, and people might say, yeah, they might. But okay. I mean, so we know what we are. We know what we have going here, and I agree. I think putting it on after a turnover is a cool, inclusive way to do it. So Kevin, I hear you, man. No. But I do hope your point about Lion fan on Lion fan crime, just walk away. Those viral videos. This one from that Redskin game, or excuse me, the Commanders game. That one was sickening. That was really bad. And fights go viral every weekend. Let's not have it be us. You don't want it to be you.
I hate when you hear about the fights in the stands, because inevitably someone tumbles down a couple of rows. Innocent people get hit with, errant elbows or fists, or they get toppled over. Think about how painful it is just to get bent over and hit one of those hard plastic seats at a weird angle.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much that can go wrong. It's so stupid, and yet it's something it's been a problem forever. It was a problem at the Silverdome. I don't know if it's as much of a problem at Ford Field. I don't think it's as much of a problem at Ford Field as it was at the Silverdome, but occasionally it happens. And to put the call out there to try to keep everybody kind of calm, respectful, and enjoy this game for what it is, yeah, let's get out there and let's do that. Let's enjoy the game.
Okay, time to give away some Lions tickets. First one with the correct answer to the following questions. Got 2 tickets to the Miller Lite Tap Room for the Lions home opener coming up on Sunday against Seattle. Kang told a story earlier in the show. What did the bus driver say to Kang? What did the bus driver say to Kang? First correct answer, you got some Lions tickets for Sunday, 248-539-9797. If you do not win, stop by the Buffalo Wild Wings in Woodhaven tonight for the Thursday football feast from 6 to 10 for another chance to win, courtesy of Miller Lite and Buffalo Wild Wings. 97.1 The Ticket.
So a couple months ago, I was definitely on the lookout for a better night's sleep. I wanted to do something about sleeping through the night or at least get better sleep than what I had gotten. So I decided to go out and shop for some mattresses. I went to the True Sleep out in Shelby, met up with Paul, showed me a bunch of different mattresses. I must have test-driven about 12 of them lying down, and some felt better than others. Some fit me better than others. And really, it's about the fit more than it is the comfort. You want your body to align right so you get that perfect night's sleep, and that's exactly what happened. I settled on the Posh and Lavish. I've had it for several weeks now, and I am very, very satisfied with how I'm sleeping now. True Sleep has reasonable pricing for high-quality mattresses. Check it out for yourself, and you can find your perfect sleep system right there at True Sleep. It's Michigan's largest Nectar dealer. They're in Troy, Warren, Shelby, or Lake Orion.
I'm a big Harlan Barnett guy. I'm full disclosure here. I worked with Harlan 25 years ago. We were on the Spartan broadcast together. His NFL career had just finished up, and he knew Nick Saban pretty well and had an opportunity to be part of the broadcast team as our sideline reporter for a couple seasons. And then when Saban went on to LSU, I believe Harlan went there as a grad assistant and started his coaching career, and eventually came back to Michigan State, went to Florida State as a defensive coordinator, and came back to Michigan State when Mel Tucker came here and wanted to bring him back. I love this opportunity for him. I don't know if he's suited to be a head coach or not, but he's going to get the opportunity. The players love him. Players love him. Families love him. He's a family guy, and his faith is very important to him, and he lets that be known as well. And I think it's a very safe hire from within at this point. I mean, you got to appoint somebody as the interim head coach. Harlan Barnett makes a ton of sense. I mean, I don't know if you're going to want it turned over to one of the coordinators. I have no issue at all with it being Harlan. In fact, I'm very happy for him.
Congratulations to Jamal in Dearborn and won the Lions tickets. He knew that the bus driver said to Kang, "Go Lions." He had the first one with the correct answer, so Jamal's going. Again, if you didn't win, you can take another shot at it with the Thursday Night Football Feast at the Buffalo Wild Wings in Woodhaven from 6 to 10. Chance to win there. Are you ready for Loser Chooser, my friend?
Of course I am.
All right, every Thursday we have an NFL game, and every Thursday we pick the loser who's going to lose that game, and Gator I will start. In spite of the fact that Kirk Cousins statistically was one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL in Week 1 and Jalen Hurts wasn't, I'm going to take Hurts and company at home to get the win tonight. Banged up team a little bit, but still I like the Eagles to get the job done here. I think Hurts has a bounce back game, and they moved the Vikings to 0-2 on the season. Last year's darling that always found a way to get it done, coming back to earth a little bit.
Well, some people would think that this game is that classic up-down theory game, right? The Eagles played well last week. The Vikings did not. You get up-down, you switch them back around, and the Vikings should be in business this week. I don't subscribe to that theory because, for me, up-down has to work when you're dealing with teams that aren't Super Bowl contending teams, and Philadelphia is. So I take Philadelphia out of the mix for that. And because they are a Super Bowl candidate team, I don't see them losing this one to the Vikings. I have the Vikings losing tonight to Philadelphia.
Philly is banged up. Reed Blankenship's out. Nakobe Dean is out. But still, I just think Philly at home is going to be too much. And Hurts got off to kind of a rocky start. He skipped the preseason, and people are wondering if he should have played a little bit. But I'm with you. I think we both got same thing. Minnesota loses tonight. Okay. So, Tiger baseball coming up this afternoon. How about Spencer Torkelson, Gator?
Torque bomb.
It's good to see. Probably the most useful thing that will come out of this season is Torkelson kind of establishing himself as worthy of being in the everyday lineup. Got to work on things other than hitting home runs. Strikeout numbers could afford to come down, but he's got a shot at 30 bombs. And I think by all accounts, that would be considered a successful year given where he is in his career.
Absolutely. I mean, it's year 2. He's 23 years old. And the improvement he made from year 1 to year 2 it's colossal. I mean, it's 170 whatever it is, 169 points, I think, higher in his OPS this year than it was last year. It's at 773, which is considerably higher than the league average. And the way he has hit the baseball over the last couple of months, he is legitimately one of baseball's best power hitters over that time. I mean, he's among the league leaders in home runs in that time. It comes to the point where he's at the plate, and there's a chance he can hit it out every time he comes to the plate. And last night, he hit it opposite field, and that's great to see. And hit it with great velocity, almost a line drive out there. Got out in a hurry, and that's what we like to see from Torque. You want to see those foundation pieces. He's one of them. Kerry Carpenter is another, although he struggled a little bit last night. Like to see him hit a home run soon because it feels like it's been a while. Riley Green, of course, is the third player of that group that's definitely a foundational piece, and he's getting multiple opinions on his elbow as to what to do with that elbow. Not likely to play the rest of the season at this point. Why would you? But hopefully it's an elbow injury that does not require surgery because you don't want to see a big setback with him. But they've got 3 real foundation pieces in their everyday lineup, which is nice to see, but you'd want more than that. And I don't know if they have more than that in this lineup. It feels like they got a bunch of guys that are maybe good enough to be on the roster, but they aren't anywhere near potential stars on this team or even all-stars. But I do like the maturation of Spencer Torkelson in particular. His numbers are up in every single category, Doug. He's got 60 extra base hits this year. That's a lot.
It's funny because last night I saw he was on deck. I'd been flipping around, and I saw he was on deck, and Shep said he's having a night, and he had a walk, a bomb, and a RBI single at that point, and comes up, and I saw him just in time to strike out. But whatever.
Yeah.
I mean,
right.
I happen to see that.
And he does that. And you're right. He's got to cut down on that. You definitely want to cut down on that, and it's he's swinging at pitches that are out of the zone. And, that low and away pitch is hard for him to lay off of. And then there's a high fastball when he gets the 2-strike count that it's hard for him to lay off as well. But I'll take the 773 OPS. And it's a nice place to start going into next year.
Okay, let's get to some Lions feedback to wrap up the show as we get set for a huge weekend for the Detroit Lions. From an unnamed texter, I've never owned any Lions gear in my life. I've lived here for 63 years and always believed. Last night, I was looking for Lions hats online. I guess times are changing. Next text, unnamed texter. I grew up in Pittsburgh. Everyone wears Steelers clothes almost daily. When the Steelers are in the playoffs, people decorate their yards, their houses. They decorate in black and gold like it's football Christmas. I can't wait until Detroit gets there.
They had that damn song, Here We Go, where they change the lyrics every year. Hate it.
Mike in Pennsylvania says, I was walking by a guy in Ocean City, Maryland wearing a Lions shirt, and he said, "Go Lions, it's spreading."
There we go.
Matt at work. I've been wearing my ski mask all day at work. Matt,
Why?
Where do you work? That is the follow-up question. Where do you work?
That's an important question.
Right, yeah. Do you work in the penguin exhibit at the zoo?
Do you work from home? Because I'm not sure. Like, if I walked into a gas station and the guy behind the counter was wearing a ski mask, I have to admit, I'd be a little curious as to what the hell was going on.
Do you work in a ski shop?
Right.
Right, yeah.
I don't mind so much the guy behind the counter is wearing a ski mask. It's the customer that comes up wearing one that I'd be concerned about.
I'd be curious, is what I said. I didn't say where. I'd be curious of what the hell is going on. But I mean, hi, welcome to Subway. Can I get your order? Like, dude, you're wearing a ski mask? But
Well, I will tell you this: being outside all morning, for 3 hours here, I've yet to see somebody wearing the ski mask.
Yeah.
But I have seen a lot of Reds fans.
Can I ask you just real quick, was it your idea that it become the turnover ski mask, or is that somewhere else?
I don't know if
I brought up on the show.
Was it
earlier
UK?
today.
Yeah, I was going to
Okay,
say,
I'm
I thought it was kind of morphed in from the show. Somebody brought
I
it
won't
up.
take
and
full credit. I'm sure someone else said it as well, but on this show, I was the one who
Okay,
said
yeah.
it first.
Yeah, I think King
Because-
brought it up, and I ran with it.
I like it. I just didn't know if
There's
it was
the
an
baton.
if it was an original
Yeah, thank
thought, or because that makes more sense.
Yeah, I said just put it on when they get a turnover and then take it off after. Like a fumble
Yeah.
recovery, interception, whatever.
It'd be awesome. You get the camera panning all
Yes.
throughout the crowd, and everybody's they're putting it on while they, Brian Branch just, picked off the third pass of the day. It'd be great.
Turned stick-up kid, and look what he just did.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. Tiger Baseball coming up next. Stay safe, everybody. Treat each other with respect. We'll do it again tomorrow. Big weekend to preview of football. 97.1 The Ticket.